Hello everybody, how are we doing? Welcome to a little StarCraft stream today as we're going to be going through the Rex March Madness Qualifier. Hello, hello. Not quite sure what we're going to go into to start the day off on. It's kind of nice because I just get to do the qualifiers, so I'm just watching, I don't have to do any of the admin stuff. I think Rogue section could be interesting, maybe Mana Percival to start us off. We cast Mana Percival the other day and there was another ship rush, and the games were maybe not the most convincing, I suppose, so maybe we'll have a peek at that as we get settled in, and hopefully get started here fairly soon. Like I said, I'd like to do BabyMarine Rogue, because BabyMarine played some really cool games against Shin last week. He beat Shin last week in a WardiTV Monday or so, or another event, I can't remember what it was. I think it was on Mondays. So I'd be down to cast that as well, because I think that might be quite interesting, but BabyMarine's not online right now, so we are kind of sat waiting to figure out what our plan is going to be, basically. That's where we are at. That's where we are sitting. So, yeah, we'll take a few moments. We'll hopefully get kicked off shortly. And get underway. I appreciate you all being here. And just in a couple of days coming up as... yeah, so I'm away this weekend. I was kind of thinking about what to maybe do ahead of this weekend. But yeah, so basically I'm only here tomorrow. I'm away Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was thinking what to do tomorrow. I don't really have anything planned right now, so we might just... yeah, I'm not 100% sure how that's going to go. I might just not be on tomorrow, and then we might take a long weekend and then come back. And we do have a lot of stuff planned when I come back again, so... just again, another one of those weirder weeks where it's a little bit quieter, there's not much going on, and I'm also going away, so there's not... I don't have, like, something planned Thursday through Sunday, which usually happens. So, yeah. Yeah, if BabyMarine doesn't show up... oh no, he's here. Yeah, we can go BabyMarine versus Rogue. That works. Cool. Alright, we'll take a moment to then. I think the BabyMarine Rogue matchup's fun. Something a little different, and the Zerg. Exciting. So yeah, hopefully just a few moments, guys. We've got the players here, so some videos come through and we'll get kicked off into this qualifier. There we go, El Dorado. That's going to be our map. Alright, let's do this, guys. Let's cast some StarCraft 2 today. Lovely. Go says Rogue. And we are going to kick this off. So I believe top 2 qualify. So I think it's best of 3 until the semi-finals, which will be qualifying matches, and hence they will be best of 5. So we're probably going to cast a couple best of 3s and a couple best of 5s in total. I think is where we're going to be at. So we'll get this ready to go. Alright, let's get this up and rolling, as we have got ourselves in the bottom left-hand side, the blue Zerg player. This is Rogue. He takes on, in the bottom right, our red Terran. It is BabyMarine, as we get into game number 1 of this best of 3 series to start the day off in the Rex March Madness Qualifier. So this tournament's going to happen a couple group stages next week, and then the playoffs the week after. And we have some fun players already. Hero, Maxpack, Zaun, Clem, Shin, and Solar. 3 Protoss, 1 Terran, and 2 Zergs. This could be a very Terran-less tournament if Clem doesn't do well and if no one qualifies, but... I mean, Q beyond in this qualifier. I think there's a good chance we get an extra Terran in that qualifying round as well, so... I guess we'll see how that all pans out. The pool coming up on the side of Rogue. We get the Varric starting, the SCV on the way. This Overlord just slowly moving through the bottom side. Overlord just going to head over to the right again. Hatch pool, continue to come up. We get this underway. Well, we're just going to journey across. The SCV going to go in Sky, like I say. BabyMarine, I would say, is definitely an underdog here. But then, again, consider the fact he did beat Shin recently. He's had some good results, and that's very fun to see. So, excited to see what exactly, if anything, you can do against Rogue, who is a pretty hectic and busy player. So, excited to see if BabyMarine can keep up with Rogue, I think is one of the first questions we might have here. As we get this up and rolling. SCV returns back, obviously the Reaper across the other side now, and that will start to ping about and start to deal some damage. Just hits a couple drones, nothing too major yet. Obviously you don't have to take any losses just now, so far so good. Looking very reasonable across the board here currently. Sorry, just dealing with something. Nice, PC's bugging out on the other screen. My YouTube chat won't load, but I think I've fixed it. So I've been a little distracted at the start. But did you see the Queen going to get there? And we are going to see a couple of shots off onto the Reaper. So third hatchery comes down on the bottom side from Rogue here on El Dorado. BabyMarine lost a couple of STVs early in this game, so that's why I just missed out on a little bit. The choice of tech here from Rogue as we see what he is going to go and get done in the next little while. So he's going to go into the Evo Chamber and Rotron, so we get that up and rolling already. So we just bring that straight into play. Again, that Liberator coming up. And the Tech Lab coming up on the barracks. We had a couple of Evolution Chambers in there as well, so Rogue continues to get those online. We had the drones, we had the Roaches, the Queen 2 continue to come about. Reaping a couple of Hellions just staying out on that left-hand side. 2 more Hellions are going to edge their way across to that far left. A couple of Queens very much so still on their way in as well. Belair is going to be the next choice from Rogue. It's going to be interesting because obviously you're kind of walled in here, and unless BabyMarine opens up the bottom side of the map, there's not going to be a lot of harass down there. Obviously the Liberator can fly down there, but the Hellions can't threaten down there, so there's not much the Hellions can do. But it's also, maybe 5 Hellions is a reasonable number. So yeah, if you can't do much with these, Rogue is just going to get the lair up and then move into Roaches, and so yeah, obviously he has the Roach on the double Evo. He's yet to actually use any of that, so waiting to see what his gas does. The Spore position nicely to deal with this Liberator on the bottom side, so that gets deflected away nigh on immediately, and the Liberator turns into the left here, into the main base, where it actually does find some workers, but it's going to come at the cost of the Liberator. 3 drones, Liberator already dead. Yes, you would have liked to see this just not be any drones lost for Rogue, but at the end of the day, he got the Liberator, so it's no further harassment now. And still forced some Spore Crawlers. Trying to find some positivity in losing the... I mean, there's no positivity in losing the Liberator. You're just trying to find more positivity from having had the Liberator at any point here, I suppose, is the main statement. Stimpack is going to be finishing 1-1 upgrades on the Roach speed. That's coming about as well. Patrick coming through from Rogue, just going to be getting that on the back of the gold base. Again, Stimpack, couple more Marines all coming up from BabyMarine. The 1-1 upgrade starting as well. Add a reactor, add some depots, and keep that coming into play. Marines is going to hit the Overseer. Changing goes down immediately as obviously Rogue just trying to get some scout information off. Would love to see the tech choices. In the end, we saw a melee upgrade start up from Rogue, so he's actually going to go and, yeah, basically make his way straight through into the melee upgrades, the Carapace, the Ling Speed, the Roach Speeds. Just going to be happy to play mostly Ling Bane, a few Roaches to kind of buffer that army, but not too many. And those Hellions still very much so cruising about, but going to make themselves some Roaches right there. Now, the gold base on the bottom side, so Rogue continuing to extend through the bottom portion of the map, is his current game plan. Kind of like it. Obviously, taking both the gold base on the south side could be very, rich for him if he can get away with it. The question is, at some point, surely BabyMarine, who takes his 4th up to the top, is going to start opening up some mineral blockades and starting to get some pushes down in that direction. I'd be very surprised if BabyMarine did not go for the some pressure towards these gold bases, because you can't just let the Zerg get away with it. What is nice is he could push through the top and get in position on the first gold base that Rogue took, so that could be maybe the initial goal, as Hive is not far from being done, so Rogue will be seeing some additional bonuses there. Ling Speed's not done yet. I mean, we've got Roach Ravager, but we've also got a few Lings in here, so this is actually maybe an awkward fight. That tank did not siege straight away, so those first piles are very dodgeable, and we are going to be seeing the next piles. Not going to get a chance to go in towards the tanks very quickly at all. Now we do get 1, 2, and 3, and that tank goes down as well. Rogue holds this off. As we do have the Ling Speed now finished, allows the Lings to get there a bit more quickly and maneuver around a little bit more easily, and they can get into some positions to play defense and to handle all of that as well. The command center finishing up in the front here from BabyMarine. So we get that 4th base settling down. The Ling Roach Ravager Bane moves on through the center. He just wants to try and figure out where exactly it might want to go over the next little bit. A couple of drones going to nibble themselves up some gold minerals. Obviously, the majority of the defense wants to be on the bottom side, but you do have to be careful of siege ups on that gold from the other side, and potentially pushing your natural as well. So that's kind of what BabyMarine set up to do previously. These are slow banelings, by the way. No baneling speed in production, so Rogue is making a mistake there, because there's no way you don't want your banelings to have speed. Banelings rolling into your opponent is much more effective than banelings waddling into your opponent. I can promise you guys that much. As if there's one thing I know about StarCraft 2, let it be known that faster banelings are better than slower banelings. As the units just spread once again, so this Ling Bane looks to encapsulate an army should it kind of advance forward. Having that surround pre-set up is obviously a big positive. A couple of Banes going down as the Ling Roach Ravager gets across. The Medivacs will be taking some damage again as well, so just going to pull those back, pull those away for a few moments. Bunch more drop loads on the way up. Ultra's coming through as well. Again, add that kite displaying on. Let's just have the Lings and the Banes continue to make their way across. Bunkers of Shells will also be in production, so just one extra upgrade for that Bio Army. as we try and get it to be as good as possible. As I think Rogue's just happy, man. He's got double gold base mining away. He's taking bases that are awkward to take later in the game. Like, you know, mining those out now means that later in the game he can just defend an easier to defend set of bases. These mineral patches are going to start causing some confusion. You can see there he was already getting choked up on his own units a little bit. So it might be worth just getting the rest of those mineral patches cleaned out. On both sides, I feel like, you know, especially Rogue right now, looks like he wants to try and create attacks and so on. If that's the case, I definitely think you just want to try and make sure you don't have tapping issues. Retreating or attacking in, especially retreating, can be really bad as well. Ultra going to step up, a couple of Banes. It's going to come on in here. We are going to be seeing 1820 SCVs going down, so that's nice. And it's the drop in the main base, which is actually going to be doing a lot of the work. The orbital command nearly burning down there. In fact, I think it will burn down. It's floating, it's floating. Oh no, the SCV's got there to play the repairing game. I tell you what, BabyMarine is, when you win those games against Shin, play very long, drawn-out defensive games as well. So Rogue trying to just bust through BabyMarine now is going to put BabyMarine to the test in an element which I think he's actually very good at. CC, he's going to float up in the skies. The Lings are going to get there. 3-3 upgrades coming through. Missile turret's going to get rid of. Oh no, the Ultra's actually got out. That's actually kind of smart, leaving with the Ultra Overlords, because they are going to be able to get out instantly, right? So yeah, that actually works quite nicely as Rogue in the main base again, shutting down production. And this is something which BabyMarine obviously has to respond to. I mean, he's going to get all these units. It is expensive for Rogue. I mean, you could argue he didn't really, you know, achieve that much with this either. There's a few Lings on the top right are going to hit the mineral line. SCVs are dropping. I'm going to turn back onto that building base as the Lings are going to force the CC up into the sky. And just try and keep BabyMarine on only the 4 bases, which makes it a little bit easier to kind of bleed him dry if you keep on attacking and keep on trying to force those trades, which is exactly what Rogue has been aiming to do thus far. Let's see, what's up, Big Mum Jeff? Thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime. Twitch Prime, they say. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. That's our Lings. Running in here, just going to burrow, probably force a scan. The units in the main base got scanned as well, that burrowed up to try and hide away. Things move up, couple of tanks going to get jumped on. Now Ling's getting up into the main base as well. Ling's going to get there, plus 3 attack, going to go down. I mean, this is again just nice harassment. We get some SCVs, we make some progress. The mine shot goes off, couple of Lings gonna get caught. The 3-3 upgrade still coming through at the Spire on in there as well. That Bio Army is very low HP. I mean, the Lings aren't gonna kill it off, but something to keep in mind of got units that are going low. Spire gets there, and we get rid of a couple more additional Zerglings. The Ultras are gonna step up, the Banes are whacking away. Those Ultras just move into I mean, main base, like I say, those units low HP. This is where it is going to come into play. They're not going to be able to put up much of a fight at all, which is obviously sad. And now we lose a couple more structures here. So the main gets wiped out. At some point, you kind of got to re-expand to the main as BabyMarine, because you kind of need all of the bases and all of the money you can possibly get. That ain't going to happen if you're missing minerals on the main still. Well, Bane's going to come across. Planetary Fortress is going to go down. And as that Planetary Fortress goes down, we will see, obviously, another base of BabyMarine that he just can't rebuild back up on. He can't just keep on mining from. Another round of Dropper Lords going to send Zerglings toward the main base of BabyMarine and just work from there. Against this constant pressure, just one punch here, another punch there. Going very well so far. And just going to be seeing our Bio still stepping forward, and those Dropper Lords ready to move in again. Offload. We'll take some shots from the Widow Mines, but the Widow Mines not going to clean it up. And again, the faction, the Starport is forced to live. They're going to go to the natural, which at this point definitely probably is a safer location. The CC here can be forced to lift as well. There's one flyer attack coming through. Ultras and Zerglings coming up. A hatchery as well. And Rogue is going to get BabyMarine bullied out of this game. I think Rogue played a good, solid, harassing game, and BabyMarine struggled to really get set up at any point. GG's. That's going to be our first game of the day. Going the way of Rogue. Throw some ads on, guys, just because we're at the start. We got to get those ads rolling out. Some Scotty 2 Hottie on the YouTube. And we're going to go Amygdala for map number 2 of Rogue and BabyMarine. I wonder if this would play Mana or Percival in the round of 8. A few different matches to move through. Justin's Place, thank you so much for the 30-month resub as well. Appreciate it. GG's. Just say go hopefully in a second. Yo, thank you so much, Rudolph Skin, for the 1-month resub on the Prime as well. I appreciate it. Thanks to Twitch Prime that cost me nothing. I don't have to watch ads. Thanks to Twitch Prime. Hell yeah. It's very true. You get that ad-free viewing experience if you subscribe on the Twitch. It's a good benefit, believe it or not. And in the top right, our blue Zerg is going to be Rogie. Taking on, in the bottom left, our red Terran BabyMarine. Alright, so we can get into game number 2 here on Amygdala, and we look to see what's gonna go down as we work our way through this qualifier. Again, just the first round here. Like I say, most likely we'll cast a couple best of 3s, then be in best of 5 qualifying match territory. And qualifying matches, and then this event will start probably with group stages next week. That is part of our lineup of streams next week. Like I say, this week's a little bit quiet. I'm actually away this weekend. Probably not. Probably not going. I don't know what I would stream tomorrow is my problem. I don't know what I would cast if I was going to cast tomorrow. So yeah, I have to take out the ads. Yeah, so I'm probably not going to cast tomorrow. So I'm probably just going to be away for the rest of this week, guys. But yeah, like I say, when we come back, we actually have a lot of stuff going on next week. It should be a lot of fun. So. We'll have this tournament, we'll have WardiTV Mondays obviously back, we have qualifiers for the WardiTV Boom and Bash. So yeah, pretty fun and full few days when we get back. There's gotta be something else. What am I forgetting? What tournament am I not thinking of? Oh, let me check my schedule. Next week. Damn it, scroll down. Oh yeah, next week we have Boom Bash qualifiers, Rex group stages, WardiTV Mondays. I'm not here on the Friday, and then the actual Boom and Bash begins on the Sunday as well. So awesome, very cool, very very cool. All right, we're moving about. SCV nibbling up at the command center as we get that on the way. Factory swaps over onto the reactor. Ripper coming through. Yeah, that Lynx V coming about, a couple drones coming in. The Hellions going to pop off the factory. That's the early few moments to not give us too much to shout about. There's obviously an interesting start last time from Rogue, just that Roach Roar and playing the Roaches, but then obviously mostly still focused on the melee upgrades. Hoping the Hellion still gathers up. Just moving around for a few moments. Do have the, again, the Hellions and the Reaper moving back over to the other side. It's just going to be coming straight across. Again, Cloaking coming up, the Banshee and the Hellions all in the way. We had some Zerglings on in there. And we'll put some damage out, try and get some work done. Hellions to step about again, the lair continues up, Cloaking and the Banshee continues to come in as well. The Hellions moving over, and the Fuelings are going to slip in once again. So a couple of those SCVs taking damage. The Hellions are going to come back once more. I mean, this is already great from Rogue as he just gets in. 8 SCVs go down. This is exactly the Rogue you expect to see. A Rogue that shows up. He bullies a little bit. He's oppressive. He gets up and in your face. I like it a lot. I mean, this is what Rogue does best. And I think BabyMarine gets so comfortable if you let him kind of get developed in the game. So getting in there and disrupting him early really takes your opponent away from their comfort zone while really expanding on your own. Banshee's gonna go moving up. Queen's gonna get there. We'll see it in reach so we can start to take that down. Couple drones falling, and we have got the double Banshee just picking their way through, and the Queen's taking some damage, so again, some work being done for the first few moments. The Banshees pull back up in toward the main. Hellions move about, Marine tank medevac gathering up as well. Still got one upgrades and the combat shield coming through too. Yo, what's up, Mr. Yates? Thank you so much for the 26-month resub on that Prime as well. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. You have our Marines unloading away here. Gonna get ready to try and strike on forward. We're just gonna go straight onto this hatchery. We just pulled back the Lings, getting up and over. It's a good defense from Rogue. Make sure not too much happens. And the tank's gonna go and again, reposition over that right side. We do have upgrades finishing here, and I wonder if there's some pushing potential from BabyMarine in a larger kind of plan. Wings run over. Marines are going to come up and fight. The Overseer taking some damage right off the bat. I mean, it's nice for BabyMarine to come poking, but it's not like he's really achieving too much just yet. Wingbane Hydra pulls back, gathering around still. Tanker Siege and had to take him down. Here comes the Wingbane Hydra running through. The Bane's going to try and reach this army. They're going to reach it easily. Oh my god, Bane's left over almost at the end. We just get so many effective Baneling connections there that is going to be very difficult to contend with moving through from here. As this is going to be a drop on the top left-hand side. They get shut down as well. And BabyMarine is not making any progress against Rogue right now. Rogue holding on very, very comfortably. Putting himself in a very good position. And putting himself probably in a winning position already in this game too. It's obviously far from being able to say it's decided necessarily, but it's definitely been a great set of starts. At this point, I'm already thinking that BabyMarine probably has to play a very passive game. The Rogue showed in the last game he's very happy to make a passive game a very active game if he needs to, right? So yeah, I think this is going to be a tough follow-up from BabyMarine. Rogue playing well today. Rogue in general actually just recently playing very well. I've been really enjoying watching him play. He had a little string of inconsistency and looking like he was just kind of a bit washed, honestly. And last little while, he's actually started to look really good once more. So excited to see that as we do have this big push from BabyMarine. Let's see if Rogue can figure out an answer to this as we come straight across the map. Bane's crashing through, SCVs coming about as well. We do have ourselves the Wingbane Hydra setting up on that top side. I mean, again, the Marines in the tank trying to get ready to push forward here at the moment, so settling up to get into position already. It's going to be seeing a few Marines loading into the medevacs, peeling back away into the center. Again, Wingbane Hydra just continues to come on through for the moment. Ling's gonna get that. The Marines just getting back onto the watchtower. Just gonna see the Lings continue to come across. A couple of Banes showing up. Army over here needs to be careful too. BabyMarine is paying attention to it at least, but he doesn't have enough medevac. He has too many Marines to just lift into the medevacs. He honestly did a very good job of getting rid of a lot of the Banes. The attacking off creep and the target firing good. Actually went much better for BabyMarine than I thought it was going to, so credit to him. Succeeds in that defense on his couple of different sets of units, and that felt actually pretty necessary for him there. So, like I say, a big positive, big win, considering the situation. Fire stepping up, Queen taking damage. Still stepping through. I mean, you got to stop and heal up some of these bio units again, because if you stim them again right now, you're going into a fight half HP, which is only good if you can truly out DPS your opponent's army and they never get a chance to reach toward you. Things continue to run in. The Banes are going to come smashing through. They're going to go and hit this orbital and hit this mineral line. Again, just past the siege tank. SCVs are not running. 16 workers, but we also kill the orbital, so the base goes down, and we're not at the point in the game yet where rebuilding bases is an easily done thing. Those Marines getting cut down in the top left as well, and it does look as though we've got ourselves Rogue looking very, very good in this opening series. I'd almost pin him as one of the favorites. Well, he's obviously one of the favorites to qualify. Do I pin him as my favorite to qualify today? I actually think I do. He's been playing so well lately. I think he's got a very good chance. I think he's on the same side of the bracket as Beyond. It's a likely qualifying match, but that one can maybe go either way, honestly. They're running over here as the lurkers now starting to show up, and we're not really prepped to deal with lurkers at all, unfortunately. Like as we'll get there. Siege tank is going to get grabbed. A few Bane's going to sit there. The Lings going to start trying to figure out what they want to do over here. Undermining defense is good. More than anything, I feel like it's just a good distraction. Lets you get closer in on this side. These Bane's going to try and reach the mineral line. There's so many stacked SCVs. It's a beautiful day if you're a Zerg. As more SCVs still dying. It's going to be 26 total. As we might be able to get through the lurkers here. So we jump on a couple that are unsieged, but that's a very minimal bonus. I'm just going to fight the Lingbane Hydra. I'm just going to continue to come over. Going to see a couple of little mine shots going off. The Banes are getting caught. The Lings are still running through. Rogue just having too much. Both these games, he was very controlling. And did a very good job of finding effective trades to put him in good positions. And Rogue is going to move through the first round a day. Marge is on to play against Mana or Percival, who are apparently still in-game. Meanwhile, Christiana be Geralt. He will play Cure. Let's have a look at Mana Percival. Is Mana streaming? No, I was wondering if they were, maybe. Alright, we'll probably just follow Rogue and just wait a little bit. I might just follow Rex, who is obviously the man putting this tournament on today. So, yeah, we might just wait for Rex and then just see what he wants to do, because if we just follow him, we'll end up watching all the qualifying matches and stuff like that. Alright, so we'll give it a couple minutes, because like I say, I think we'll probably be waiting on Percival Mana wrapping up. 12 minutes in game right now, so waiting on those. So yeah, we'll just give it a few moments, guys. Hopefully get this set up. Hopefully get this figured out. And yeah, hopefully we have more StarCraft coming up ASAP for you all. Get right into it. Hell yeah. $40 minutes in game, yeah. Typically they're going to play like a really long match because we're waiting on them. Ordinary Chance beats SKILLOUS just now, apparently. That's an upset. SKILLOUS drops in the first round. Wow, that's definitely a little bit of a shocker. And SKILLOUS seems to have lost his vibe lately. I feel like SKILLOUS was playing so well, and the last week or so, I feel like he's just been that little bit off from how good he had been playing. Hopefully he can find his way back up there. Creator just beat Nicorakt, so he won that 2-1, so Creator will play Chance. That's a PvP fiesta right there, guys, so we'll stay clear of that. Meanwhile, Ryung is playing Shameless as well. And, like I said, we're kind of waiting on the Percival Mana series to finish up their current game. We can either go into a game 3 or join for the winner versus Rogue, is what we're going to be heading for at the moment. Hey guys, we just sit and take a few moments. Like I say, Percival Manor, just gonna play it out. They are gonna play like a 30-minute game because that's what we're waiting on. I can already tell. The classic. The classic. No other results in the bracket. So yeah, nothing else to talk about just yet. Alright, so, how's everyone feeling? What's up, guys? I really thought this was going to be like, they'll probably be out of games soon, but they're not. So, what's up? Let me know how everyone's feeling. Let me know how you guys are doing. Say we'll be, probably off the next few days after today, but, excited because we got so much planned. I think when we come back, we're live for pretty much every day apart from one over the next, like, 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, when we come back, we have 2 weeks straight of content every day apart from one day. So like 13 out of 14 days will be streams. And then we're going to be starting our WardiTV Spring Championship going into April as well. So that will also be a big bit of fun. Yeah. Can we see Kira Christiana? They were already in game when we came out of game. They were already started, so otherwise I would have taken it as an option. But they were already in game. However, Percival and Mana have just hopped out. So at the very least, we should have another Percival Mana game. If not a result on the board and a winner versus Rogue. And they just logged out. Which makes me feel like it might be Percival to take on Rogue in another TVZ. Bonkers. That would be Korean server, so we might have to do some server hopping, but that doesn't really change much. Just waiting on... Yep, Percival 2-0. Alright, Percival going to move on through over Mana, and he is going to be taking on Rogue in the next round. So I believe we're going to hop on over to the Korean server for that one. Alright, yeah, let's hop on over to the Korean server for Percival and Rogue. So you guys got in GI. Yo, thank you so much, Stancops. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the 8-month resub on the Prime. Woody, you're the true goat of SC2. Hell yeah. Appreciate the kind words. I don't quite think so, but thank you for thinking so, I guess. Love it. I'll be right back. 1 second. Alright, so we'll go into Percival versus Rogue here in just a few moments. We're on the Korean server. Yeah, we'll just wait for that to come around. They will be vetoing now, so it shouldn't take us all too long. So some more ZVT from Rogue. It's exciting. Excuse me. Alright, lobby coming up, so get this set to go, get ZVT coming through. Playing a thread on our StarCraft. You guys, the thread basically is a complaint of the game is too stale. I just don't. I just don't know if people watch the same StarCraft that I watch. I think people lose. I think people see like someone opening Blink and think, oh yeah, brilliant. That's so boring, they're opening Blink every game. Because they refuse to see all the different ways to play Blink and all the transitions Blink plays into and the ways that the armies interact in the next stage of the game. So they're just like, yo, they're playing Blink every game, the game's so stale. Like, am I crazy? Like, you know, back in the day, in these golden eras of StarCraft 2, Protoss used to Forge Fast Expand in every single PV. It's basically saying the game was stale then because of Forge Fast Expand, which it was because the Forge Fast Expand builds took 10 minutes to do anything. It was probably more stale. This thread's really bugging me. I keep reading through it because I'm trying to understand how so many people truly believe that StarCraft is uninteresting right now. I just can't. I just don't believe they're watching the same game that we watch. I just don't get it. Like, I could understand if you're like, oh, I keep seeing the same players playing each other. And so I see Clem and Max Packs winning everything, and I find that a bit boring. I think that's a valid criticism. But to say the gameplay is boring and stale, I just don't think they... Like, I just don't know if they're watching StarCraft or paying any attention to the games. I feel like they like tune into like half a second of a game, and they're like, oh, the Protoss is playing Blink, and that's it. Like, this genuinely perplexes me. And I guess this is a biased audience to ask because you guys are watching StarCraft right now, so you're probably not finding it stale. And they don't see Proxy 2 racks in TVZ anymore, so they think the game is uncheesable. That's what I'm taking from it. Like, I'm finding it very hard to take it in any way that isn't just like, you know, I'm finding it very hard to take in any way that isn't just like, these guys are wrong. I'm trying to be open-minded about it, though. Clem keeps winning this still. Yes, I can appreciate that. That Clem is very good, and him winning all the time is definitely a little bit of a, like, oh, here we go again sort of situation, you know? So, yeah, I can kind of understand that aspect. I don't really disagree there. I think our player base is the bigger problem StarCraft has, but I don't think the gameplay is the big StarCraft problem. The gameplay is better than ever before. People will conveniently forget that Heart of the Swarm had a terrible meta for like 90% of its lifespan. Like, Heart of the Swarm was legitimately the same thing on repeat. Like, Terrans would parade push. And if they weren't parade pushing, they were playing mech against Swarm hosts. And Protoss were playing against Swarm hosts. Like, that was Heart of the Swarm. That is Heart of the Swarm summarized. Obviously, Wings is a category of its own because the game was extremely new then. And then Legacy of the Void came about, and the game was a little bit wild for a lot longer. And obviously, it has settled down a lot, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I still see the meta shifting fairly frequently, to be honest. Like, we didn't see Phoenix openers for months from Protoss players, and now Protoss players are really bringing Phoenix openers back again. That's interesting. You used to root for Clem, now you hope he loses. Yeah, I love Clem, I love Max Packs and so on. I love that they bring all the viewers to my stream, but man, I was so happy on Monday when they both got knocked out in the round of 8. I was like, let's go! Such a different tournament. It is just nice to see variety in player names at the top of the events as well. Even if Hero won and Hero's one of the names, it's just how dominant Clem and Max Packs have been in those events. It's a little bit crazy, right? It's a little bit crazy. CC coming up, our starport coming through, get a refinery on the way. We settle down here as link speed comes up as well. A couple queens are going to go poking away at the Reapers. Just Reaper getting turned around and going the other direction for a few moments. Is the Reaper going to pull back on through? Just going to be heading themselves through the middle of the map here, so just take a couple of moments, step on forward. The Ling going to come around the sides. Going to have the Liberator and a couple more Hellions coming up also here, so just getting everything underway. A couple Queens and drones coming about. And we have the Marines getting there as well to push the circling around just a little bit further for a few moments. And then Reaper gather up, going to come back around the right side again. Queen's going to be there, a couple of shots going off. I think like time window for Stale is a lot longer than newer fans. Just old guys, a variety of a month is exciting because we can understand the difference. But I mean, how many newer fans to StarCraft are there? I feel like the people complaining are the people who've watched StarCraft 2 for a long time. And who are like, oh yeah, like, I've watched StarCraft 2 for a very long time, and, you know, back in my day, there used to be, you know, people used to 2 racks and 3 racks, and there used to be cheese and all-ins. I feel like, I don't feel as people who are like, hey, I found StarCraft 2 a few months ago, but they're still doing the same thing. I find that even harder to believe, right? Because I feel as though then you're like, then you don't really, I don't understand how, I mean, if I've only been watching StarCraft for 6 months and it was still the same builds, there's still so much for me to understand. But I don't possibly think it could be Stale as well. Hellions gonna come through, Queen's gonna get bopped. As the GC melee upgrades and the 1-1 upgrades continue to come through as well, so I mean, upgrades coming about. Rogue's defense is good so far. Percival here. We're playing on a map that I've not heard of Hellscape ever, but I think they've been using this in a couple of tournaments here and there, so other tournaments also getting rid of King's Cove, Neon Violet Square, and Abyssal Reef. So that's the one that's been used. I don't have any thoughts on this map at all. I've literally never seen it in my life, so I'll just sit back and enjoy it. There's a lot more cheese and all-ins because the games are short and people don't remember them. I think the thing is cheese and all-ins nowadays are also less like, whoa, what the hell is he doing? Because it's very difficult to do a cheese or an all-in that's along the lines of, whoa, what the hell is he doing? Because, you know, it's 2025. We've seen a lot of the crazy stuff, and quite frankly, a lot of the StarCraft we watch is at a level where you can't just do the craziest thing because it literally just doesn't work. It's not that it doesn't work in the sense of it's not that all-ins are worse in the sense of, like, you know, the way of all-inning is worse than it used to be. As, oh, that's not a wall. Is that all-ins are worse because people got way better at figuring out the tells and the scouting necessary to deal with them. Like, the skills of dealing with all-ins got better, not the all-ins getting worse. As Percival's breaking through here, man, he's doing so much damage. The Hellions getting through was a major distraction, lets these Marines in the main base kind of stick around a bit longer. We only lose 3 drones, though. So only 3 workers going down. However, those Queens are going to block the medevacs in as well. It's going to fight a couple of Queens coming through. It's going to be having now a Widowmine's burrowing up. As the Queens are going to take so much damage. Widowmine goes off onto a few Marines as well. Thing's going to come wrap around. A couple more drones dropping. The Widowmine going to try and fire another Zergling. Gets killed off as well. Additional Banes come morphing in. Marine Mine coming across the sides. Overlord is going to get picked away at a few more units unloading again. And Overseer cruising about. 2 upgrades coming about. The CC coming in. Had a couple of Widow Mines, Medevacs, and Marines on. Hydrodent is building, plus the Lingbane. Rogue definitely being put through the system a little bit in these early stages. Can he get some kills here? No. Percival's defense has been good. His offense has been working. And let's see what he does now as these Banes crash into a few of the Marines. The split back is very good as well. Leaves a few Widow Mines out in front also. Load up once again. Another Widow Mine shot or 2 coming about. Another set of Queens is going to be there, and the Medevac turns around one more time, so that's a nice shutdown. Rogue still just about the same supplies as opponent. And like I say, Percival's playing great, just units jumping about everywhere. These Banes are going to find a mineral line that's a lot less protected than it has been in the past. I think we can turn some of these Banes around. We're still chasing for those SCVs up at the top. We are going to get through for 8 SCVs. I think you could have turned into those SCVs on the bottom. They would have been trapped, but obviously probably busy also elsewhere. Doesn't have all the time in the world to think of the absolute best location to send those Banelings in. We do clean up a few more of these Marines. Those Medevacs getting pushed away now. Percival passing through the center once more. It's Cryptumnus that are dropping once again. Straight onto this mineral line. Couple SCVs falling. Percival will look to reestablish a command center here on the left, so get that 4th base into position. A few Banelings pulling back also. And the 2-2 upgrades finishing up very shortly here from Percival gives him an equal set of upgrades to play from for a little bit. Drilling Claws is going to finish. The +1 vehicle plating is coming up and online as well. Step through 2 different armies once again on 2 different sides, so we got a little bit of action up on top. The Lingbane Hydra stepping through, the Medevacs are boosting away. It's going to be seeing the Lingbane continue to come about here as we do have a missile upgrade coming about. The Ling's coming through, add a Hive on in there as well. Fire already shooting a few of the Banes coming forward. The Medevacs lift off, peel away. Back over on the left-hand side a little further. I mean, obviously both sides maxed out. Rogue can try and make his way towards Hive, and the Lurker Den now is just trying to get up in toward that already. I'm going to see a couple more Widow Mine shots. Aiming, firing, Lingbane getting hit hard. The rest of these Banes are going to continue to chase across. Hydras will fire a few more shots, and the Marines taking damage. Marauders too. Medevac still getting shot down. I'm just going to sit here. The few Banes are going to set up. Queen's going to jump onto the Medevac as well, taking that out too. Percival, 190 supply. to Rogue's 200 at the moment. Gonna find a hatchery in the top side as well, so gonna start working straight through this. The WardiTV shot firing through the Lingbane, gathering together. 3-3 upgrades coming about as well. Seismic Spines is going to be done shortly as well. I think that's going to be a big turning point in this game, because it's going to give Rogue finally a bit of a better army. I mean, we've obviously got Ghost coming up too, but Rogue's been playing on just kind of, you know, the Lingbane Hydra aspect of it, now going to be in a much better place. Rogue has definitely, I feel like Rogue started to do a lot better here. Two more hatches coming up here from Rogue, so it continues to expand on both sides of the map. Again, it's going to be a bit of a Hydra Lurker attack coming through. It's scary, the Lurker. It's being able to kind of set up and get sieges going. We are going to be seeing a couple of Marauders and a Marine stepping through. Banelin's taking damage. This hatchery goes down. The Lurkers are burrowed, and we are going to see a bunch of SCVs beginning to drop off at the moment. So that is going to be a position that's a problem to deal with. That's having to attack back through and deal with that is going to be an issue. Percival doesn't seem to have a good answer to it, apart from just trying to continue pushing on the other side. Bane's start to show up, a couple of WardiTVs connecting. Some Bane's going to get through there, forcing the lift off. Some of the Ghosts able to peel away, but the supply finally being broken open into favor of Rogue. As this has been a heck of an effort back and forth. The Banes crash through, the Ghosts going down. We'll go up one more Baneling there, the Hydra's still firing across. The Lurkers will fire through for a few more units still. I mean, those Lurkers, Percival just didn't have an answer. Finally didn't leave anything back at home, unfortunately. Lurkers still setting up. The Hydras are stepping down. The Lings are coming across as well. Siege tank firing continues through. The engineering bays will now be getting busted as well as our Lings step forward. The siege tank will drop. The Hydras are going to be there. We got a CC overhead as well as the +2 vehicle plating is about to finish. The Lurker's going to unburrow. As they try and pull back, we're going to see one Lurker going down, plus some snipes, plus some WardiTVs. But we're talking about 100 supply difference here as Rogue lunges in to get rid of the two Liberators, and GG is going to be called. And that's going to be Rogue taking in number 1 of this best of 3 in the round of 8. Yeah, good start from Percival. Got off to a very good beginning. Just obviously kind of keeping it going against Rogue is tough. And it felt like Rogue settled into the pacing of the game quite nicely too. Eventually he was like, okay, I see the speed you're playing at, I can match that, and did start to do just that as well. So yeah, that's a job well done there overall, as we ready up for our next match in a few moments. Alright, waiting for game 2 just to get hosted. We'll join into this, guys, and we'll get this ready to rumble. Alright, let's hop through. In the bottom left-hand side, our red Zerg player taking that 1-0 lead, and now playing here on Eldorado. It is going to be Rogue. And in the bottom right, our blue Terran, we have Percival. Alright, so we gather up. You have a hatch coming through, the racks and the gas on the way in. No surprises first minute of the game. And as we get that up and running, Overlord, up to the top, away we go, go. Journeying around, seeing what's up. Going to be seeing our spawning pool about to complete from Rogue, so we got that done. No gas, so going to be playing gas. It's a little greedy on this map that obviously has the, you know, the option to go down to the bottom like we saw previously. It was actually pretty cool, the game he played against BabyMarine in terms of the base he took and so on. I would imagine he's going to try and play a similar style this time again, so let's check on that. Fires a grenade coming off the sides. Queen gonna be there. We push back the other direction. Got ourselves the reactor coming through on the barracks factory. Gonna swap over to that. Triple CC already setting up from Percival, so showing us the macro plan that he has. The starport will begin as well, which is not too surprising. Creeper hops up, in we dive. A couple drones gonna get grenaded. And the Rotron, the extra drones building up, the Queen coming through, the medevac on in there as well. It's gonna shoot Overlord taking damage. Again, medevac Hellenes, the Stimpak continue to come about here for a few moments. Having ourselves those roaches building a single Evo chamber this game, half from Rogue. A little different because last time he already has one, sorry. So he does have double Evo chamber coming up, so I really do just expect him to play exactly as he played against BabyMarine, the double melee upgrades and going from there. As the Hellions do drop in, the first roaches are spawning. Can we minimize damage here, the Queens? And I finish off the medevac, but that does mean 4 Hellions get in. Evo chamber to block it up, only a few drones on display for the Hellions to grab. 4 workers, lost mine time. It's not terrible for the Hellions, it's not the best either. As we do see the Reaper going to make it 5 though, down on the natural, and Rogue might lose number 6 there as well, so actually makes it a little bit better right there. That's nice. Well, Percival are going to play the bottom of the map as well, so it's already going to be, if nothing else, different to how we saw BabyMarine's game against Rogue play out, because Percival will also be on the bottom side. That should make it a little bit more difficult to, yeah, that should make it a little bit more difficult here for Rogue to really expand. Obviously, he was expanding forwards into all those gold bays before. That should become a whole lot tougher now. Still yet to add on upgrades, still yet to do much. The roaches here are going to harass, but as the tank shows up, that should kind of be the end of this for the moment. There's a lot more barracks continue coming up, the upgrades continue through. And the hatch about to finish. Just the roach coming up. It's actually going to be missile focus. I wonder if he changes it based on the fact that now Percival's playing the bottom of the map. He feels like he needs to be more aggressive with the roaches instead. Marines gathering again, the 1-1 upgrades and the combat shield finishing soon. We might see a bit more excitement from Percival here as he gets set to rumble forward. Refinery's coming up, the 1-1 coming through, add a combat shield in as well. Gonna be seeing those refineries still coming through. Link speed, roach speed, the additional roaches also coming by for the moment. Roaches, Ravages step through. A couple of Marines get chased away. Again, the 11 extra roaches coming up again. Roach Ravager 4 still stepping over. The Marine's going to pull back. Here we go, Rogue. Full commitment to this 1-1 Roach Ravager timing then, as we do see the first Marines taking damage. Bile's not on the siege tanks on the top side. So those tanks survive, and a few roaches got forward to target fire one of the tanks. Only a few Ravagers left. We do have 3. Actually could get the kill on that siege tank. Final Bile comes down now. I mean, Rogue lost a lot, but so did Percival. And Rogue still has Roach Ravager here, knocking down that last tank. And obviously so many SCVs go down. Rogue may need to reboot again, but I think we'll be able to go again as our Roach Ravager steps up once more. We're going to fight. Roach Ravager coming back through. Both going to go down. Our units are spreading. Corrosive Bile going to chase this away. Roach Ravager spreading. We're just going to be seeing a few Marines taking damage. We continue to step forward. I mean, there's another siege tank there. As soon as that gets Corrosive Bile down, the amount of defense is going to be limited because the next tank is already jumped on. And it doesn't look like Percival is surviving through this. As Rogue is going to get through to the, yeah. Going to be going through onto the semi-finals, which is the qualifying matchup as well. He will be playing against Björn or Ryung. As Björn or Ryung are both playing right now. And a few minutes into their current game. Ryung took a while 2-1 in Shameless. Kira in the qualifying match, he 2-0'd Christiana. He'll play Ordinary or Creator, so they are still in game as well. So probably have a couple minutes here, guys, before we figure out our next matchup. So yeah, that is where we stand. Probably just a couple best of fives to go then today. It's not going to be the longest of streams. Like I say, this week's a little bit of another off week, unfortunately. But end of March, entirety of April. Going to be a lot of fun when it comes to StarCraft, and so yeah, looking forward to all of that. Alright guys, we're going to take a couple moments, we'll be back very shortly. So yeah, I'll see you guys in just a few moments. We'll take a break and come back on. Hopefully we have an update on the game. Gabby. Okay, so Bjorn and Ryung are out of game. Just waiting to see whether they are done or whether they're starting another map or the dealio is. The winner of that series would play a Rogue. It is set. It's going to be Bjorn versus Rogue. So we're going to have Bjorn Rogue best of 5 qualifying match coming up next, I presume. So yeah, we should be getting into Bjorn vs. Rogue in a couple of moments. Rex running a tourney of his own, nice. Hell yeah, yeah, I know. It's nice to have, it's really nice from my point of view to have something that isn't my own to cast. Obviously, we're running lower and lower on things that aren't mine that we cast. But it is really nice to take a bit of a break and do something a little bit different. Because, yeah, I mean, it just helps. It obviously helps me because it means we get a few streams where I can build up some ad revenue and stuff and some prize money to put into other events of WardiTV. Like, the way the balance always used to work is that because we did a fair amount of WardiTV events, but we'd also cover a lot of other events like ESL Cups or World Team League and stuff, there was always a chance for me to, like, you know, if I only had to put prize money into half of the events that I ran, or half of the times I streamed, basically if only half the time I streamed I had to put money into streaming essentially, by putting on an event, it would work quite nicely because it means that, you know, you're less constrained by revenue and so on. You have more chances to build it up and stuff. Some of the other events had big players, you get good viewerships, you get good ad revenue and so on. It really got a lot tougher the last year or so. It's why we stopped running as many WardiTV events last year, because it was very difficult. While there was other events going on, I wasn't really, you know, a lot of other people were starting to cast other events too, so my viewership was much further down, and so it was very difficult to find the money to make WardiTV events happen again. So we had to recalibrate a little bit on prize pool of our tournaments and how we do it and where our focuses are and stuff as well, so yeah. Not a bad thing, just had to figure it out. So yeah, waiting for this Bjorn Rogue matchup to start up, guys. Just realized I wasn't in the right chat channel. Doesn't help. I mean, they haven't started, just no idea where that in terms of videos. Alright, like I said, just waiting for this to come through. When's the next time I go live with SC2? Probably on Monday. Yeah, I'm not here this weekend, and I don't really know what to do tomorrow. I don't have anything to do tomorrow, and I've got a few things to do preparing for the weekend, so it's just... I could maybe go live and make something happen. There's the Kung Fu Cup Evo show match tomorrow, but it starts at 11. I have Ellie at the vets at 9:30, and I've got some things I gotta get done. I don't think I'll be here for the start, and then yeah, I don't think it's gonna be necessarily worth streaming. So yeah, it's just gonna be a very quiet week for me. It's like I said, it's kind of awkward because oftentimes, like, you know, for example, next week we start qualifiers and Boomer Bash, and the week after we just run through the rest of the Boomer Bash. But because I'm not here this weekend, I didn't really have any... If I had, like, this weekend to fill, we could have had a qualifier tomorrow and then 3 days of tournament, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know, we could have put something together. It's just very hard to put something together for the one extra day with why I am here, but then I'm not, you know, so... Yeah. Yeah. Waiting for Rogue Beyond to host. They have given us the maps. It's going to be El Dorado, Hellspawn, Arrowhome, Leylines, and Frost as our 5 maps of this series. Q will play Creator. Creator went 2-1 against Chance in the round of 8, so Q Creator is our other best of 5 qualifying matchup happening today. Do. Alright guys, give us a second. I guess I'm just waiting for them to host. Alrighty guys, like I said, we're just hopefully waiting to go. El Dorado. Perfect. Alright, we're good to go. My in-game just took us a second to get hosted. Just making sure I wasn't logged out of the server or something. Alright, let's go. As we have got ourselves in the bottom left-hand side. It's going to be our red Zerg player. This is going to be Rogue. And this is a best of 5 qualifier match for Rex's March Madness event. As in the bottom right, our blue Terran is going to be Bjorn. Alright, excited for the CVT Rogue Bjorn. They played the other day in, was it the Pig tournament? They're in the group self together, I think so. I think Bjorn came out 2-1. Typed in Bjorn and somehow Gumiho came up on a Ligulac. Sorry guys, the FPS will fix in a second, just a Ligulacin. Okay, so yeah, Bjorn beat Rogue in the Pig Festival 2-1, but Rogue beat Bjorn 4-3 in the Super StarCraft Global 14 finals on the same day, apparently, just later on in the day. Wow, so these two have been trading a lot of maps with each other, so let's hope that we also get to trade some maps when we get to go to a 5-game series. I'm into it! Believe it or not, I'm into 5 games, I'm into lots of matches. I'm into a good matchup, so I guess we'll see what we get. I guess we'll see what happens as we get underway again, best of 5. There's going to be... there is going to be Q versus Creator coming up after this as well, by the way, so that will also be coming up. So yeah, that'll be fun too, also a qualifying matchup. Just to take a peek at it in a little bit. So 2 best of 5s going through. Best of all, break from pros this match. Yo, we've only casted TVZ all day. This is a really weird feeling. Rogue is truly safe in our day, to be honest. Reaper comes across, so just going to be moving straight over here for a couple of moments. Going to be stepping through and trying to take some positions. As we do have ourselves the couple shots coming about, so those Ling's going to be firing up some shots onto the Reaper. Reaper taking some hits. Ling's going to try and come around the other side. Step about, Queen just going to be coming through, Reaper is going to be there as well, the Ling's just going to be taking a few shots, the Reaper gets pushed away just a little bit. Again, just going to be having our Overlord and a couple dronies going about as well for a few moments. Queen just hanging, and Reaper is just going to be right there as well. We're seeing a couple Queens just going to be setting there. Reaper going to take some shots. Just going to be having ourselves the land the road Tron coming up. Well, Hellions going to step forward, and Brun going to be heading into the Hellions and the Banshee as well. Reaper, the Hellions, they gather. I'm actually going to see the knives coming down, so no messing around here from Rogue. He's played a couple of games on Eldorado, and he's slowly gotten more aggressive on this map as we continue through. We're just going to be shooting the Overlord, taking shots. Just going to be having the Hellions going to be hanging about as well. And the Knight's going to finish up soon. The Overlord being under fire means that the Knight's going to struggle to get into an interesting position. Knight's just going to be taking some shots. The SCV is going to come and pull onto it. And like I say, going to be difficult to get a Nidus up when you know about it so easily as Bjorn. And Rogue is just going to say GG, so that's not going to be a very exciting first game, unfortunately. The Nidus attempt just got completely shut down. And Bjorn is going to take a 1-0 lead in this best of 5. Again, this is the only qualifier for this event, guys. We only have one Terran in the qualifier in the tournament right now. So Bjorn making it would be nice, but I think Q has a good shot against Creator as well. And more Zerg's never a bad thing. We don't see enough Zerg anyway, so... yeah, waiting to see what the plan will be as we go game 2 of this in a few moments. Just wait for this to get hosted. I'll be off on our way into our second game of Bjorn versus Rogue. The invites are reasonable. Yeah. I like the invite. I mean, you just invited the best players, basically. The best players that play in tournaments. Alright, couple of moments. Ready, and game number 2 coming straight on up. It's gonna be a fun little event for sure. I like I say, I just like it that I don't have to come and do the admin work or put it together myself or deal with players for once. It's a nice refreshing change. We don't get enough of these tournaments where I don't have to do any of the admin stuff anymore. Bottom left, our red Zerg down a game because his Nidus attempt got completely shut down, didn't even get off the ground. It is Rogue in the bottom left corner of Hellscape as he takes on Bjorn with the 1-0 lead in the top right. Rosepapa, how you doing? Thank you so much for the 31-month resub. Welcome back. And thank you for 31 months of love. Appreciate it. And thank you for continuing to drop the sub. As we take ourselves into this next game, and I'll see whether we get to actually see some units fighting each other. Would be nice. Drones just gonna mine away. Again, hatching a couple drones continue to come through. Drones gather again, hatch gas pool coming up. The barracks is coming in. And the Reaper and the Orbital still coming through, hatching the pool coming up. It'll take a few moments. I just saw this map obviously as well in the Percival versus Rogue game. Definitely feels like it can get pretty drawn out. Lots of bases along the top. We'll see how Bjorn approaches it in terms of what he wants to do. I mean, Bjorn is such a splitted up, micro everywhere, you know, be all over the map player. But Bjorn is also a pretty heavy kind of like turtle terran as well if he needs to be. So Bjorn can really play into both of those styles. So I feel like this map could potentially lend it to a bit of the first to begin with, and then later in the game he's going to sit back and relax and camp it up a whole bunch too, so we will see. This is going to chase, Reaper getting hunted, and it's going to be seeing a couple CCs coming about, the Link Seed's coming through as well. Again, Link Seed just going to be on the way through, the Queen and the Hatch continuing by, a couple of drones get added on, Factory ready to jump onto the reactor there as well. First Hellions come through, the Reaper going to nibble at a few of the Zerglings right now, so some Links taking damage. Link speed, Queen, drones, all continue to come on through. A few Hellions still gathering, the Hellions and the Stim coming up, obviously. It looks as though we're going to be done with that now. More barracks on the way straight away, as we're going to have that third CC, so you're going to go triple racks, get ready to play the bio-heavy follow-up. No starport harassment or anything along those lines, and just the 4 Hellions. So yeah, pretty quick to 3 racks here. That could become a factor as we continue to move on through. And have ourselves the couple Hellions and the Reaper coming up as well for the moment. Creep Tumor going down. The Hellions Reaper get over to the side. Again, the stem, the 1-1, all dropping here. The racks coming through. Just going to see the couple of extractors coming about as well. That also coming into play. This is from the last TLMC. I actually don't know when Hellscape's from. I don't remember seeing this map at all. If it was a TLMC map, it wasn't a finalist. Unless I'm really got some terrible memory. Do have ourselves the Baneling Nest, the lair continue to come through. Hellions gather, Reaper gathers, again Spire coming up, add a few drones and Queen on in there as well. Hellions is going to fire a few shots, the Hellions get chased back a little further. One upgrade, combat shield coming through, the Spire continues to build up and the Bane speed coming up on the Bane Nest as well. And we got the 1-1 combat shields and the 1-1 the combat shields coming through. Rogue just on the way to the Spire is very interesting. Is he just going to play mutas on this because the map is this sizable? Interesting. Marine stepping through. The Overlord's going to see that movement as well. Did not have high ground vision there to deal with that. Queens, the Lings, the Banes gather up. 10 meters coming through. I'm going to dive in. A couple drones going down. The Zerglings get a wrap around. This Hellion's going to get cleaned up as the drones pull back over. Well, can the meters have enough impact on this game? You got to be worried when Bjorn has so much bio power. They're playing these meters, they're not great at fighting. Bjorn's going to have an upgrade lead for a significant portion of this game already on 1-1. But leading to 2-2, does he have an armory? Yeah, so once he starts 2-2, that's going to start developing the 2-2 lead as well. Marines gather up, the 2-2 upgrades coming over. Again, just going to be seeing the medevacs. The Marines coming back through, and Mutalists still building. But my shots are good onto those Mutas, so they get taken down immediately. Man, the Mutas are just not having a good time. Rogue is getting bullied a little bit in this series. If this continues, this is going to be a a hefty problem, because Rogue can't really play a game if you're just giving up the Mutas so frequently as he's been doing. I mean, if your game plan is Mutas and you just lose out, I mean, how many have we lost so far in the game? 5? It's pretty significant when you've only killed one Marine, you know? It's not like you've really done anything yourself. You killed a handful of SCVs, a Marine. Like, Bjorn's army is going to be full power. Might wait till 2-2 until he really pushes, but I think that's going to be huge. Marines knocking those group teamers down. Rest of the Marines coming over as well. And obviously Bjorn wants to try and force the fight because he believes his army is better at the moment. They're split around the top side as well. And those three Marines, I think, actually went a bit too far, but they don't get punished for it. Will finish very shortly here from Bjorn. The concussive shells coming up. Banes are going to start smashing into the front line. Marines are going to stim. We pull back away. The other Banes get taken out as well. Still got ourselves the Lingbane Muta Force gathering up. A couple overlords going down. The hatch on the left goes down at half blue, half gold base. And again, Bjorn just showing his ability to kind of split and spread and deal with kind of two different sides at the moment. There is going to now be counterattacks he has to deal with as well, though. See how well he deals with this. All these Lings and the Mutas running across. There have been some Thors in the production. I'm not sure how close they are to arriving. Well, there's a couple of them, so that answers our question to begin with. Units coming back home as well. Does the Thor live here? It'd be a real shame to lose the Thor, because it'd be really nice to have that against the Mutas for the future. The Mutas now in the main base causing trouble. As Rogue is basically saying, hey, look, I can really dive about and I can really make your life miserable. As he's going to get a couple of Medivacs gifted to him as well. Bjorn just flies them into the main. Bit of a miss rally. We'll get some SCVs on the exit. I don't know why Bjorn didn't still have units there. There's an obvious position for these units to be moving out in. Just pull back across down to that bottom left. Extra Bane's wolfing in. I mean, Bjorn's still maxed out. So yes, a troubling few moments. The Widow Mine there actually gets a connection. Just mess up from Rogue, didn't target fire it in time. As Bjorn begins to move out again. Strong army, 2-2 to 1-1 upgrades. Opportunity here for sure. Counterattack here. The Bane's actually being held position out by the SCVs. It's cute, but the SCVs will eventually go down anyways, so the Banes can just bust through. Just bought you a few seconds. The Muta's there as well. Bjorn's not going to care about and pull back this time. He's going to continue with his push, so he's just going to continue over to this other side. And this Bioforce is pushing in. Do we have enough Banelings here? If the Banelings are dying before they reach the bio, then this just doesn't matter. Bjorn is just going to, steamroll through. Obviously losing a ton of SCVs, going to get on top of a lot of morphing Banelings here, but the other Banes are going to show up to protect. The Widowmine goes down. We have to lift up. Trying to leave the Thor here. We split the Medivacs to unload in different locations to minimize the splash damage from the Banes. And Bjorn is still shoving his way forward. Still has an army supply lead. Heroes have gotten rid of the third base, though, and obviously things are going to become desperate here for Bjorn sooner rather than later. Rogue utilizing the chaos that these Mutas can cause as they sow themselves around the map and just tie Bjorn into a very difficult spot. Again, the army of Bjorn that was once so terrifying is starting to get knocked away at. And we'll have to retreat away to reinforcements, which just don't look as though they're in good enough numbers compared to what we had here previously. Bio pulls back towards the top. The extra Banes coming through. Adrenal Glands plus 2 melee upgrade coming up as well currently. We have the 30 more Lings, the 10 more Banelings all coming out, a couple of Widowmines and Marines getting added on there. The Marines will fight, and those Mutalisks will take some damage. The turn onto the Medivac is going to be a pretty big factor. We get both of those taken out as well. The +3 attack upgrade, very much so, still coming in. And that Bio Army going to come step out in front of the command center here as well. Well, Widowmine shots followed up by some Lings. Just going to run straight through, try and get something done. We do still see 3-3 upgrades, Adrenal Glands plus 2 Flyer Carapace. I mean, Rogue is just building a bit of everything. Bjorn does rebuild back to 4 bases, but Rogue obviously on such a large map is going to have so many bases of his own. I just think it's such a struggle for Bjorn to get on top of where he needs to be with all of those as well. Just pull back once more, the Ultra Cavern halfway, the Thor is going to be finishing very shortly as well. We had a few more Marines into play, plus the Medivacs, plus the Mines. Continue to settle that through. Let's pull back over the right side. There's going to be some Mutas going to come through. A couple Widowmines go down. More of these Marines getting picked away at. Bjorn is going to try and push down the bottom side. A couple Widowmines go up there. The Banelings are dropping. The Thor coming across. We're going to jump onto this, again, left side base. So, I mean, Bjorn's army's still there. It just feels like Rogue has had a lot of control. With Ultras coming out, it's going to be a lot tougher for Bjorn to win fights. And so that's going to be his big challenge from here on out. How do you win fights against a better tech Zerg army than what you've been fighting against previously that you've already not been able to do much about? This army on the left just gets completely wiped as well. Obviously, so many units at home chasing mutas around, moving about. The Thor doing a lot of work. My shot fires up. A bit of damage done. We've seen the bio still coming through. A couple of creep teamers going to get jumped on as well. We take those out. Ling, Bane, Ultra, plus the upgrades. 3-3. Kindness play. And actually, no, plus 3 Carapace, right? So that, oh no, plus 3 Carapace already finished. My apologies. So it will be 3-3 and a Kindness play and finishing soon. He moves across, a couple of Widowmines there. The Ultras are coming about. Again, Marine Marauder Widowmine coming through, plus a couple of missile turrets coming up as the army of Bjorn heads over that far left-hand side. The team is already dropping. Ultra's going to be diving down. The bio going to be coming across. SCVs are dying across once again. This really is becoming a last-ditched effort here sooner rather than later. We've seen the bio will continue to step through. I mean, can these Ultras help? Right now, a lot of these Ultras are melting as they kind of get in the way of each other, but they are connecting onto the bio. Units are going down. I think it's fair to say that this one is going to get tied up as Rogue mutas his way to a 1-1 scoreline. The Nidus didn't work game 1. The muta macro game very much so works in this one as well. Alright, we're going to be sending up into Error Home. Game number 3. Coming up here. And get ready to rumble. Alright, in the bottom left-hand side, our blue Terran player, this is going to be Bjorn. Now tied up 1-1, as he just couldn't quite get a hold of the mutas on that map. That map was big, and I think one of the big things as well that kind of happened in this matchup was that Bjorn likes to play slow. Like, Bjorn will play a slow, drawn-out macro, like, I will camp it out game, but that's so difficult to do against the mutas. Like, he never got to the phase where the game slowed down enough because Rogue consistently found damage with the mutas, so Bjorn couldn't really take the second or two that he needed to say, right, let's settle this down, let's get back on track, and all of that kind of stuff. So I think the choice of mutas was actually very good for the map, being as sizable as it was. I mean, as I said, it's a massive map. It feels like it's very wide. It always feels like there's ways for mutas to get across the map and to deal damage, and that's exactly what they started to put into work towards the end of it all there. As we get ourselves set up, game number 3 of this best of 5, and we get going here on Error Home. Excited to see what this map brings us. This was one of the maps that was being brought in as a replacement map for certain map pools as well. Obviously, we've been starting to replace maps ourselves with some of the TLMC maps for WardiTV events. We had the first happening of that the other day on the WardiTV Mondays, and we'll be continuing that map pool for ourselves. But yeah, other tournaments have been doing their own map pools. This is one of the maps that's been brought into play a lot of the time there as well. And so, Max Sparrow, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much. Reaper goes down. Again, the hatch in the pool coming through. Reaper in the command center coming up as well. We had an SCV on. As the Reaper comes over, I'm going to move into the base. Just going to be firing a few shots off. A couple Lings taking some damage. The other Ling pulling in as well. Reaper going to continue to fight and dice itself up. That Ling still taking some shots. And the Ling speed, the Queens and the drones, and a hatchery on as well. Also going to be coming online. Tech Lab building on the barracks again, a couple of Hellions coming through on the factory. Tech Lab coming about, Starport is about to finish, the couple of Hellions still building, and again that Ling Speed building on the side of Rogue, so we get that Ling Speed brought up. Starport swaps to the Tech Lab, Barracks gets the Tech Lab itself, and we will be having ourselves the cancellation on that Tech Lab actually. Now we're going to get into cloaking here on the Banshee. It's just going to bring that up. And then the Tech Lab starts again. Just wanted to prioritize the Banshee with the gas instead of anything else, it seems. Two Hellions and the Reaper moving across. Again, just needing the drones, the Queens continue to come about. Rogue setting up with those couple of Queens, like I say, and really just waiting for the Hellion Banshee stage to kick into play, while keeping an eye on what Rogue gets up to. Rogue has brought such a variety of styles out today. I think Rogue took a read of the Reddit thread that said StarCraft 2 was still. He's like, well, watch me. I'm going to do a different style of ZVT in every map of ZVT. But now he's like 8. He's like 7 maps deep. Will it be something unique again, Rogue? Or are we going to keep on mixing it up as obviously the Banshee first one out, second one on the way. The Hellions cruising across the other side, and the Queens will be there immediately to say, no, I'm not going to let you guys in. At least not going to let you guys in easily. Peoples will be finishing again. The barracks coming up, the engineering bay coming through. Got 2 more SCVs on, plus a depot. And the Banshee and the Marine still very much so building on by as the Spore Crawlers come up on the side of Rogue. So getting both those spores on the way in, plus a lair, plus additional drones still. Engineering bay about to finish up. The extra racks coming through. We'll continue all of that into play. So yeah, a couple of racks still, just continuing by. And then we have ourselves the Hellions and the Banshees still trying to whack away as well. Now Reaper getting involved. Just going to cloak up the 2 Banshees. They're going to step forward and they're going to go after, I thought, Queens. No, they are going to go for Queens. It's the lower HP Queen, but it's actually the Queen that's in the front, so it's the one the Hellions get onto easily. We got 2 Queen kills here from Beyond. Now he's going to find a third because there's no transfusions left. Wow, that was actually very well done. I was questioning hitting the Queen at the front because it was the one with the lowest energy, so I was like, oh, that's not the Queen you want to take out, but he gets it because he guarantees it with the Hellions before Rogue reacts, and because of that, it is a little bit of a surprise attack. Those Banshees, a little bit ninja-esque right there. They kind of go through, they pick their target, and they were like, boom, we're going to dive on you. And that was a 100% a guarantee that they got themselves. That was actually very cutely done by Bjorn. As 6 drones go down in total, obviously just lose those Hellions. The Queen's going down will delay further creep spread. It will delay some injects potentially as well. So all of that worth keeping in mind at the moment. Queen's going to fire up onto those Banshees. Just going to go chasing the other direction. Marine set up in the middle, Medivacs overhead. The Banshees are going to take a step forward again, +1 in combat shield, very much so still on the way in here. As our melee upgrades and our Baneling speed continue to come through, and the Marine's just going to stim straight on forward, get rid of some of this group spread immediately. As we are going to get rid of the Overlord, the Queens. Both the Overlords going down. In fact, the Queen's still going down. The other drone's taking damage. These Zerglings keep dropping. The Baneling's getting picked away at. Rogue just gets overwhelmed. Crazy to think what the Banshees and Hellions kind of set in motion there as Bjorn just stims his way through to a 2-1 advantage now and is a map away from victory. In this qualifying matchup, Bjorn looking to be the second Terran in the tournament. As we'll get to that set up in just a few. Leylines is map 4, so you're going to go back to some of the more standard ladder maps as well. Alright. Fun set of games so far, hasn't it? Fun set of games. Cool, cool, cool. GG's are called, and we're going to go into this, guys. Straight into our next map. The Cure Creator already start? No, both semifinals will be cast, so we will be going straight into Cure Creator when we finish up this best of 5, so fear not. Plenty of StarCraft going to continue through. Let's hop on into game, as we have got in the top right-hand side. The blue Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion. We have got ourselves Beyond. 2-1, and a map away from victory, as in the bottom left. Our red Zerg player is going to be Rogue. Yeah, sorry guys, I see just now that the YouTube chat asked this question 20 minutes ago about Cure and Creator, but yes, they are very much so waiting. I'm so bad at reading YouTube chat lately, I don't know why. I feel like I'm not bad at reading it. For some reason I read it and I just don't reply to it. Overlord moving about, and do have our hatch gas and pool all coming in, so we just take a few moments and enjoy our setup here on ley lines. Fun map for TVZ. I always think this one's a good size map that also doesn't necessarily accelerate the kind of the late game. Like, you got a good amount of like mid game on a map that has a lot of bases, but doesn't necessarily get drawn straight out to that late game every single time. You know, I think is one of the main big positives. Here it comes over. Everyone getting chased about. Extractor coming through as well. CC coming up, Home Command on the way, had an SCV in, a reactor in the tech lab coming up as well. SCV continues to move about there. Again, add-ons coming through. Just going to be seeing our link speed, hatchery, and the few drones continue to come about. We get the Overlord online as well. As Reaper going to step on through. A couple Queens are going to be there. Reaper pushing back. Let's have this establishment of the early game figured out a little bit and see whether Bjorn is going to be able to get in there and do some damage early, throw his opponent off or so. Does seem to be the initial plan. Gonna drop the starport in. Obviously, Bjorn prioritizing the barracks and the bio production first. It's a very Bjorn thing to do. No real surprise in that regard. He really does love to prioritize that bio plays. A couple Marines are going to jump onto and get rid of the Overlord, so we'll get rid of that. Taking that down. A few more Marines still gathering together. Plus the Stimplack, Marines, starport, and so coming up as well. Plus that Rotron also coming into production. So all of that coming through. The lair continues. Our Stimpack finishing in the next few moments, as that should help us out nicely. Also, Queen's just going to be there to back the Hellions away. And yeah, Jack's coming up. Rotron in production. Very much so set onto all of this right now, as the Hellions and the Reaper continue to move through. Couple medevacs will pop. Marines are going to come over. Just going to be seeing the Hellions still stepping about a little bit. The 1-1 upgrades very much so on the way in. The Roaches and the Carapace upgrade in as well. We just keep that coming through. Hellions will be there, so I'm going to turn the other direction. Going to be seeing that Marines going to chase the Queens, going to get there, push the medevacs back. Infestation pit. Melee upgrades, Roach speed, all of that continues to come on by. Let's just get a couple of medevacs. We're just going to get there, and those units are going to start stimming. It's a little bit of a tight corner because of the Spore, but you get rid of the Spore and you're going to free the medevacs up, and now you can move in more easily. Both Spores go down. The Roach is here defensively from Rogue. Not really doing enough. Couple drones already dropping. The Extractors will be in trouble. The Overseer taking hits as well as we continue to move forward with these Roaches. 11 drones have gone down because the Hellions have dove by, and this is not looking good at all for Rogue. 16, 17 dead drones make it 19, 21, 22. Super Hellion dives in again. 23 and counting. 27, 30. You actually can't... Yeah, you can't lose 30 drones. Those Hellions just go completely unchecked. Let's see our another hatchery coming down. It's going to be coming across. Marines and tanks coming about. It's going to be seeing the Roach Ravagers going to gather. The concussive shells coming through. The army continues to gather together. Beyond going to go around the upper left-hand side. 2 upgrades very much so coming in at the moment. It's going to be difficult for Rogue to deal with. Tank's going to be able to set up. There's a lot of Ravages, but it's going to be tough for them to get enough files off on all those tanks just positionally. Medevac showing up a little bit of heal in this bio, I think, is the one thing that we were maybe missing, but we're going to have that now as well. There you go. The first bio's coming through. One shot's a tank, gets the next tank as well. The problem is a lot of these Ravagers are already dying. The Ravagers are extremely expensive, so when it comes to any amount of reinforcements here, it is going to be very tough for Rogue, because he's going to be missing a lot of the Ravagers. Having to rebuild those is going to cost a lot, but Bjorn didn't have any healing available, and he is going to get turned around. He is going to get pushed back. Rogue on Hive Tech is going to add Vipers into play as well. So we are going to get take this into place. Adrenal Glands coming through, the Ultra Cavern coming up as well. We'll just gather with a few of those Marines. Again, the 2-2 upgrade still coming about. Adrenal Glands coming through, the Ultralisk Cavern will be on its way, which I think gives Rogue the best chance at getting something done here. Another few Banelings going to come morphing in. We've seen a bio coming through. The Widowmine's taking position as well. So switching to the Widowmine style as Ling Bane is now on the way out. So I guess the mines are going to be a kind of a better aid than the previously set up tanks. Turn around, a couple more Banes going down as Rogue tries to push back again. Rogue's biggest issue is definitely going to be how much he can afford of all of this and how long he can keep it going for, but this trade's been good enough so far to stabilize. Still got that Adrenal Glands coming through, Burrow upgrade, +1 missiles coming about, add a Hydroden and Extractor in, +3 Carapace coming up on the side of Rogue as well, so we bring that Carapace upgrade coming through. The Marines will step forward, and a couple of these Creep Tumors already going down as well. The Bio will continue to fight on forward. The Banes still making a little bit of a dive up. I'm just going to load straight into the Medivacs. And now the rest of the Bio continuing through as well. A couple of those Zerglings also going down. We jump onto this hatchery. The Banelings continue to try and roll on through here. Widowmine shots are very good. A couple of Banes can maybe turn. Doesn't even need to. The Marauders just get rid of them. Now the Marines in front. Actually going to have to lift up for a second here. Bjorn is dropping the top left-hand side. Going to force the Zerg to retaliate and have some units up there as well. So again, Bjorn just trying to manage this split of units. I feel like Bjorn should have a lot more units, and maybe as they all gather together here, we'll truly see the size of this army. Couple Creep Teamers go down, Blink step forward, Hatchery in some trouble, we spread out, Widowmines gonna do okay, and Parasitic Bomb very much so still on that Medivac, a couple more Banelings connecting. As the Bio is in the end going to get forced back, and Rogue just taking better and better fights. Bjorn is unable to really capitalize on what was, I mean, that was crazy damage he got done earlier in this. Lurkiden coming through on the main, so we got that Lurkiden building up. Drilling Claws coming about, 3-3 upgrades coming through as well. We do have our Marine Marauder Medivac very much so still producing. I mean, Bjorn rebuilds back up again so quickly, but I've got to say something about the fact that it's been so many attempts of pushing forward as Bjorn, and Rogue's army's only getting better with each attempt of Bjorn failing. Another Widowmine into the Hydras. The Bio going to step up and away up the top side. The Medivac's going to load and retreat again. Bio still moving down the bottom. Let me step up. This Ultra is going to go down pretty quickly. Taking out Overseers. Overseers are not cheap units, so it's nice to get them. Tell you what, Bjorn has a serious, I feel like he has a serious Medivac issue, but he actually still has 6 on the map, which is not even so bad. Bio stepping through. Bane Hydra gathering, just gonna have ourselves again the +3 cap melee upgrade, the Chitinous Plane finishing help those ultras out as Beyond gets pushed away up the top side once again. And show resources lost I can. It's very even. And that makes sense because obviously Zerga's been taking some very good trades, some very efficient trades, all things considered. And Ben Hydra still coming through. The Lurk is going to step across. It's going to be seen those Widow Mines firing up, and a few of those Zerglings going down. We're going to get rid of the Ultralisk. A few more Lings getting picked away out here. We do have the Roaches stepping through. Those Lings continue to fire as the Lings get pushed around. Hydras and Lings still producing +2 missiles and an additional +3 melee. As this game, 14.5 minutes in. Yeah, Beyond's just not being able to take good fights, all things considered. The army now down to the bottom right side, figuring out what it might like to do here. We've seen the few Banes going to get pushed about. A couple of Widow Mines trying to burrow up. Feels like an okay fight for Björn as gonna maybe target that Baneling. He can chase these Hydras a little as well. She got a snipe on the Viper in the top left-hand side, so one of the Vipers goes down. Units you kind of do want to keep alive here as Rogue units that do have a lot of potential, if you can very much so keep them alive and bring them back into play. Fire steps up, we're going to get rid of the Zergling. The Hatchery immediately going to come under fire here. You do see the Zerglings are going to run through and they're going to get turned around immediately by the Bioforce. Hatchery killed. Beyond still, again, finding chances at the very least to be aggressive. The Lurk is starting to come up, but not in super high numbers for Rogue. I mean, he's morphing 2, he already has 2 on the map. So he's going to have a handful. Obviously, we do have Ghosts as Beyond that you can utilize. You're actually going to go for a load up, maybe that drop into the main base. Those 3 missiles just settling. Nidus and the second Nidus coming up, so attempted Nidus into the main. Beyond does not really have a lot of units nearby. Gonna have to lift up the CC top left against the Zergling run by as well. We're seeing the Widow Mine's actually going to go off, so this Nidus gets to come through. A couple snipes coming down. The Widow Mines actually do help to bring the Lurkers low, but we walk into the Lurker shots. Oh my goodness. At the same time, Rogue just hits, and all of a sudden, Beyond is having a little bit of a disaster. These units are going to be in a lot of trouble. On the other side, he's losing SCVs. The Nidus in the main was actually very successful. I can't help but feel that Beyond definitely let this one slip away from him, considering the fact he did so much damage early on. And now, well, now he absolutely seems to have flipped completely the other way. Incredible trades from Rogue. Great job continuing to fight. Bane Hydra is continuing to come through. There's the Overseer stepping up as well. We will see the jump on toward that planetary fortress. Gonna get a few snipes off. The Hydra's taking damage. Ravages too. And we'll try and put up a defense here. His army supply is okay. It's just gonna be the economy that's a problem. He's gonna get a lot of units here though as he continues to chase these Hydras down. At some point, is it worth even trying to turn the Banes into that army just to buy you a few seconds? Been losing 25 SCVs, so again, economy a major issue as he does keep bases alive, however, so we can replenish those SCVs a bit more easily, if nothing else. Bane's crashed in as Beyond. Oh my god, the Medivacs loading up in Ranger Hydras too is not going to go well. Just as Beyond got a bit of a pushback, Rogue pushes that back, and that's going to be enough for the GG, and we go to a game 5. Did not think we'd be seeing it, considering the fact that Beyond was doing so well early in this. But yeah, I was unable to take good enough trades. And now we are going to be going to a 5th and final game of this series. And then after this, we get Cure vs. Creator. So turning into a really lovely little day of StarCraft 2, actually. Very nice. Crossline going to be our map. as we get ready to go. Alright. We're going to be seeing Frostline coming through. Rogue versus Bjorn ZVT. We have got in the top right-hand side the red Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion. Unable to, again, trade well enough at all in that later stage there. It is Bjorn. He was looking good to maybe be our second Terran into the tournament, but now it's all tied up. It's anyone's for the taking as Rogue maybe looks to add yet another Zerg into the tournament, which is also very appreciated in this day and age. Game 5, Frostline, one of the smaller maps that we've had in this series. Maybe a factor to think on as we get set up. I gotta say, I'm again very impressed with how Rogue is fighting. He's taking a lot of good trades, a lot of good fights. The orbital coming through, we get set up. Just settle on down. Orbital command coming through. Again, the Reaper coming about, the CC coming in. Hatch in the pool coming up and online. It's going to be seen how Reaper going to hop down through the center a little bit. We're going to fight a couple of Lings getting turned the other way. Ling Speed and the Queen's coming through. And Ling Speed, Hatch, drones coming about. The Queen maybe going to go drop a creep teamer down as well. It's going to be seeing the Link Suit again, still very much so on its way through. The Hatch coming about, a couple drones, Overlords, and Queen coming through as well. It's going to be having ourselves the Orbital Command about to build, a couple of Hellions coming up, Refinery on the way in. Just having ourselves that Link Speed finishing very shortly. He's just going to bring that straight on through. And Rogue will have himself the ability to get onto the map a little bit in the near future. Bjorn, obviously with the Hellions, will hold some map control as well. Hellions, Marines, Dim, continue to come about. The Banshee coming through as well. It's going to be seeing our Interference Matrix actually starting. So he's just going to fake the cloaking. He's not actually going to go cloaking. As the Marines going to go for this Overlord. So the Overlord still thinks he's going to go cloaking. Obviously the Banshee will finish. The Overlord will get that Scout. And then we should just cancel Banshee 2 and cancel Cloak, because I can't imagine we commit to this now. Oh, I say cancel Cloak, cancel Matrix. it looks like he'll still get Banshee 2 and just go for 2 Cloakless Banshees, so I'm going to try and utilize that as a way to deal some damage here. Players moving around, the queens are going to set up as well. We'll be seeing our Banshee about to finish up. The couple of barracks are still very much so coming along also here. Bringing that through for the moment. Oh yeah, Patch, Bay Nest continue coming about. The extra spores coming through. The Stim Pack is about to finish with the upgrades as well. And a couple of extra barracks coming through. And the Hellions will still continue to set up around the top side. Add that Baleen Nest and Hatchery into play. And get that all set up. So the Banshee's heading to the main. Extractor, we can get mined into the Queens. Continue to pop about as well. Well, Barracks just obviously finishing. So Beyond going to be on the 5-rack setup. He's obviously already on that. Already on that third base, so it's just going to be looking to power up with that economy. Yo, Falcon, thank you so much for the 59-month resub, almost 5 years. Hell yeah. Appreciate the 59 months as our Banshees will ping and just be annoying. Again, Cloakless Banshees can only do so much. Gonna force the spores out of position and will now actually get themselves a few drone kills. Queen taking more shots, but it looks like the first Banshee will fall. It's gonna make it a little bit tougher. We could maybe try for the Queen. That's it. One more drone available. 2 more drones. Should have just taken the shots. There's still a spore there. I think Bjorn forgot there was 2 spores in this main base, because otherwise he may as well have just taken out 2 more drones, because that Banshee was never getting out. SCVs are going to pull. The Hellions will fight. The Feelings going down. The Zerglings still stepping around for a few moments. They're going to get chased away. As we get back into the mineral line, we get one more Zergling. Still got Marines and tanks pushing through the bottom side. Couple Creep Tumors going down alongside everything else. The Creep Tumors still very much so falling here. Our Queens are melting and the tanks will siege. The Marines pulled back. The Banelings all going down. Bjorn, this one time and has been detrimental to Rogue so far. Rogue has no Bane speed, no 1-1. And Bjorn just going to stim in again. There's only Zerglings showing up. The drones have to pull in too. This is not going to be a pretty ending. Rogue has to say GG. And Bjorn is going to win this series in the end. Just took a little bit of time to get there. GG's. And Bjorn takes it. Alright, we're going to go into Cure versus Creator. Up next, guys. It's going to be another best of 5 coming through. I'll be one moment and we'll get right into that. Just got to run some ads and stuff and go nip downstairs. I'll see you guys in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. As we jump into this second best of 5, second qualifying match of the day. First one was a banger, 5 games of Beyond versus Rogue. As in the top right here, we have the blue Terran player, it's Cure. Takes on the bottom left, our red Protoss Creator. How is everybody doing? Hope you're all feeling great. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining us for the Rex March Madness tournament put on by our Taiwanese caster Rex, who casts a bunch of WardiTV stuff. Super happy to be able to come through. And, yeah. Super excited to be able to come through and cast some of these games. We'll have a couple of the group stages next week and the playoffs the week after. As we get settled, we get ourselves underway, we figure out what our plan's going to be in this best of 5, game number 1. It's going to see the probe coming down across the maps, just going to be coming straight through with this one for the next few moments, just getting that underway. Probe up on the high ground, Stalker coming back down the low ground, we will see the Warp Gate, the Zealot, the Sentry. All continue to come through. The Stalker will poke forward and chase that Reaper for a couple of moments as well. Just going to chase that straight out over the front. And away we go. Hallucination going to be moving about. It's going to be stepping over, it's just going to get around there. The hallucination still moving through. Let me get this up and running. So Reaper coming about, I'm just going to be stepping through, the hallucination coming in as well. And the Widowmine going to get burrowed right there, going to be able to blow up a little bit. The Reaper stuck in the main base will try its best. Got shot down by the Stalker. That's what I'm just going to unburrow, relocate. A hallucination going to get chased a little bit also. As, yeah, a couple of Stalkers going to step out the front. The Observer, the Warp Gate continue to come online. And the Medevac will go boosting as the few Widowmines load up and head on down to the bottom side of the map. So, just going to get this coming over. Again, the Starport coming through. Tech Lab coming up. And Twilight Council on the Gateway. Continue to come online as well as we get this all rolling. So Widowmine's coming through again, the hallucination setting up into the skies, seeing what else is going on. Medevac taking a few shots of damage, but the Widowmines will get down, they will get 2 burrow, and they will go for just the 2 pros, but we're saving these Widowmines, right? And a third one enters the natural. We save one of the Widowmines, and the third one is just going to go for 1 more probe, or at least some more lost 9 time, which is obviously a big benefit, as we're able to keep that coming through. Not bad, that's a lot of mine time lost on those probes. In 20 plus seconds. Very good job, I would say, by the end of this by Cure. I like what he's been able to get done in these early stages. So where do we go from here? Well, Freya's got charge chrono boosting. Pretty wild. Robo into charge, you're putting a lot of pressure on Zealots that are not going to be in great numbers initially. I'm actually very worried for Create. I think this push of Cure has a lot of potential to knock him down straight away. Marines and tanks step through the bottom. Just going to get sieged up onto this Nexus as well. I'm going to get a lot of shots off. As we are going to be seeing the Stalkers taking some damage too. This Archon is obviously a fake. I mean, the Immortal's a nice little bit of buffer. We're going to get the cleanup, but it's going to cost you a lot of units as the tanks go down. So no third. I'm actually going to lose a few extra probes at the end here as well, unfortunately. I still like this a lot for Cure. He's in a very good eco position. Creator is on his way to some better tech now, but it's taking a while to get there. Combat shield and that +1 attack upgrade both continuing into play currently. Two more racks coming in, and the medevacs are going to be going about as well. Just going to be seeing the counterattack here though. Going for the concussive shells, not the worst of upgrades to lose out on, obviously it's very quick to rebuild. Nice annoyance though, just as Q is not really set up to deal with this very easily. We'll see if it comes in as a negative though, because obviously if you're busy putting harassment on over here, what about if there's then units that are showing up on the other side of the map, and that could definitely become a bit more of a problem too, right? Try and boost past the Zealots, get some space between you and loading on top of them. Colossus comes in to defend and takes a bit of a beating, but does survive. Stalker's coming across, chasing that away. Just seeing our Marines still very much so unloading, down on the 6 o'clock, the +1 and the extended thermal lance coming through as well. Prism just heads down the bottom. Stalker still shooting away that Widow Mine. Again, +1 attack, and a thermal lance coming through. Add that blink into play as well. Dark Shrine coming through. Extra gates coming up. Again, that Nexus is coming into play as well. Continue to get that up and into action. As the army of Kratos sits tight across the bases for the moment. By on a couple of mines, makes its way straight to the left. Man, here just has so much more supply-wise. It's kind of a crazy difference when you look at the supplies of this. Scanning up once again. This one almost about to finish, which gives you just that little bit of an upgrade advantage. You're just trying to find the right position to attack if there is one. The thing is, you got to be respectful of the tech, and the Colossus are definitely something you got to, take into account here. They're not just something you can stim on through if you're, attacking into a defensive position. And that Viking count ain't good enough to take on Colossus yet, so I think that makes sense for Q to be cautious about where he's moving to and just trying to get more of a jump on a base than guaranteed just like, I'm going to shove in here no matter what. Makes a lot of sense. Our Stalkers will clean those medevacs out though. Harass is good for a few SCVs, and that's something that Creator probably needs to keep up. Trying to get some more of those DTs across and into play. Okay, this is the moment to go, go, go. Apparently, Vikings will get rid of that first Colossus. Now the anti-armor missile on the others should drop fairly quickly. Right now, it feels like the Bio Army's going nowhere. New Disruptor shot, though, comes through, lands on just a single Marauder. Colossus all dead. Viking's gonna stay in the sky. Scans for the DTs, but they're actually pretty bulky against Marauders at least. Wow. Good defense from Creator, I feel like. He was going into that down a little bit of supply. Cure thought he had his moment, but Creator takes honestly a pretty good fight. Dealing damage on the other side. The Prism dead, but at least got some units across. Creator, I like it. He got rid of every Viking Cure, never landed them. He just kept flying them about overhead. And so we can actually start to justifiably rebuild Colossus, although we will see a few Vikings available. If that changes Creator's mind about getting Colossus up. He might just feel like he needs Colossus no matter what, though, so... Stalker's blink back again. +3, +1, continuing up. Cancelling that Nexus, and now going to pull ourselves back to the top side of the map. +3 and +1 continue coming through. Gonna end up in a pretty solid macro game position, which is actually very fun because, like I say, this one kind of like where Q was at, but Freya's been able to shape this back into his advantage right now. Vikings overhead. We are maxed out here once again, so let's see what sort of a fight we can find for ourselves. Cure, again, having to be the aggressor into this base. Nice disruptor shot on the right side, really good for Creator. But Cure is going to get up the ramp. He's started coming at me. Going up the ramp has meant that now he's fully surrounded. One more Colossus goes down, 16 probes dead. Creator continuing across the map. The DT's pulling back, and Archon going to start morphing in, making a couple Archons morph from there. Stalker's coming through. Medevac still taking some damage. Thunder goes down. Disruptor shot does not quite reach the rest of that army. Creator's on full counterattack mode, clean that army up and gave him a lot of opportunity, and now he's looking for a base in return, maybe even just a game. That orbital should never live. It was so low. I can't believe we've not gotten rid of it. Finally does lose out on it, and now problem for Q is that was his, one of his 4 bases. Creator, when he lost a base, had other bases in comparison, and so Q's base is so much more important than Creator's right now in terms of just going 1 for 1. And I think Creator has completely flipped this game into his favor. Impressive game from Creator if he wins this, because he was definitely not in the easiest of positions in the slightest. Like, he was in a tough spot, he was in an awkward place. Stalker, Archon, Colossus, and move through. A couple of SCVs will begin to go down. The Vikings stepping up already. We get rid of one of those. Creator goes peeling around the right-hand side again. +3 armor coming up as well from Kua. And some further upgrades and so on. The Widow Mine there gets blasted. Now these ghosts perhaps in some trouble too. I love these disruptor shots. Hero's just eating them as well. Like, the splitting is not there. He does get rid of some of these disruptors now, though. Actually forces the recall from Creator. So Creator maybe stepping around a little bit too long. Kua is going to stay alive, re-establish, and potentially get back on track. Let's pull back over. A couple of DTs get to work. The Zelds are going to come through. Once we get down to business here as well. Let's see that Bioforce coming over. The Vikings going to continue to sit there as well. Bio stepping through, and a couple of those cannons continue to go down as well. It's going to be having the I mean, base just dropping. I really felt like we'd done enough here. Just going to be seeing another disruptor shot fires through the Bio, and the Ghost stepping back. Yeah, we've got an Archon Stalker. Zealot Force continue to push on in as well. Disruptors very much so continue to come on through. Bio stepping forward, Ghost as well. Vikings very much so overhead as 11 probes and 6 SCVs continue coming through. This army of Creator just going to full on base trade. Man, what a back and forth swingy kind of game to start us out for. As we step on through is... Yeah, I mean, this is going to get awkward because obviously you can potentially fight half the army of Kua. If you bring that army supply down far enough, you are potentially not in that bad of a spot here. Chasing this army back, some DTs taking some damage. You just got to keep on pushing through, try and focus on the units. Army supplies are going to come down to being about level. And then as Creator, like, I mean, it's a bit awkward because Kua still has bases up. So maybe you are forced to kind of just go for this a little bit. I was going to say maybe we try and recall here. Plans the Vikings, the DTs go diving forward as well. Creator's army supply taking a bit of pain. Good force field medevac is going to be scared to do much here, as we do actually get a Zealot Warp in here from Creator, so actually start some money, start some stuff to do. A Disruptor from the other side goes down. Man, this is wild because the medevac's out of energy. The Archons are going to be very good in this situation. We're going to get a lot of shots off with those. Stalkers have to peel back. We get rid of another medevac. Man, these units are just such low HP. The Stalkers, do they not have Blink available? Apparently not. Oh no, Creator going to lose the Prism as well. There were Stalkers in the back too. So many of these units were so low. Every unit counted, and I feel like Creator was not ready to take the final fight of the game right there. GG's. And Creator is going to drop, and Kua will take game number 1. That's so sad for Creator after he fought his way back into it. But Kua is freaking good, and he will take any opportunity he gets to get back into the game himself. And that's very much so what happens there, as we get ourselves all lined up for another game here in just a few. Frostline going to be our next map. Alright, counting down into it. Thanks for joining us, guys. We have 1,000 viewers today, which is amazing for this little qualifier. I guess we have been live 3 hours. But I thought the viewership was pretty good for today. It is not expected to be as to get us going as it did. Yeah, we have had good matches, so it makes sense. Just like I say, it's never a bad thing to be unassuming, I guess. Countdown's good. Let's get into the next game here, as Kua is up a game in the top right side. He is our blue Terran, Team Liquid. In the bottom left, our red Protoss is Creator. Game number 2 of this best of 5. Our probe is going to head up to the upper right hand side, pulling away there. Probe is going to move through the SUV, coming out and about. I see there's a couple SUVs nibbling about, probes coming through. Probe pulls back away. Nexus, Wolfgate, the Adept, the Assimilator all continue to come through for a few moments, so we just get that rumbling early on. Well, next is going to try to boost away on those couple of probes, so we are going to be seeing the Adept coming about, probes coming in. And we get this underway. The Hellion and the Marines, the starport continue to come through. And we just have ourselves a blink opening here from creator this game. Obviously, last game, Robo into that charge. I think it put him in a weird place, but yeah. All good in the end. As the blink comes about, Robo facility coming through. We got the gateway. And a few extra probes being brought into play as well. The Adept continuing to get into the center. Let's turn around, and the Hellion still coming about. A few Marines peeling back. And we'll have our blink coming up to being about halfway done as well. So just still getting that settled. Let's get a medevac coming through. Wouldn't mind coming about. Next is coming over. As that blink finishes up, Kira's not out on the map. He's not getting too aggressive or anything. Just taking that third base. Happy to let this game develop through a little bit here. That Raven coming in. And some barracks on add the engineering bay into play as well. So we continue to get that rolling. Those couple gates very much so coming online. And exit coming through as well. We'll have ourselves the stim, the +1 coming through. Marine Marauder coming about. Got the Prism. Is going to be accompanied by 5 extra gateways now. 6 extra gateways. So obviously, he entered 3 bases. It's time to get the production to match those 3 bases. And that's exactly what Creator aims for. So 6 gates coming online. Got a few probes coming through. The Twilight Council not starting charge yet. You'd expect that maybe to be kind of on the line of things that you're going to be getting in this game. So maybe an eye on for that sooner rather than later. Couple probes going down. The auto turret comes in and harasses Gankira. Starting off with some good damage. I like what he's been able to get done early in this game. Developing nicely so far. Impact Combat Shield +1 all coming up. The charge coming through. Add a Robo Bay on top of that. And these few Stalkers are very much so going to come poking across the other side as well. Just going to start hitting a couple of those Marines that wouldn't mind. Also going to be in a little bit of danger if nothing else. Prison peels back away. Again, charge about to finish. The Immortal coming about as well. Prison comes about and the Zealots get through, chasing those SCVs down for a few moments. Nice start. Thing's gonna get there. It's gonna be seeing the Widow Mines. Would have helped get the Prism if the Vikings didn't. The Zealot actually is gonna recall. They're not gonna stick around and try and do too much. And the unit's just gonna gather up back over on that left-hand side. We'll get there. A couple of SCVs full. Upgrades continue through. Extended thermal lance being added on as well. So let's come back in, and those Widow Mines going to get jumped on. The SCV's taking damage. So let's get hit hard. Bio Army of Pure comes right through the center. This Stalker going to be taking damage as well. Shots going through, the Zealots trying to get forward, the Medivac is going to load up and go the other side. Just going to try and stem up the Raven very much so overhead. Army from Coretta continues to step through. There's another anti-arm missile going to hit those Stalkers. The Zealots very much so still taking some damage as well. Gets back up the right, +1 armor very much still coming in right now. Sorry, excuse me guys, mate. Sorry, it's caught a bit of a cough. Just trying to not blast your ears out. That's going to be seen up Bio. Gathering up, Medivac's gathering through. And coming back over. Sorry, I haven't read chat either. Chuck, you're still here. I've kind of not played much WoW at all lately. I've been, I got sick and I started playing some other stuff. And I just haven't dove back in, basically. So no, I have not. We'll maybe get back on it though. Next couple of weeks maybe. Is this game gonna get up towards maxed out once again as Kieran Coretta continue to set up into some fun positions. The CC on my right side gonna lift off and move away. Missile turret's coming through, add a fusion core on it as well. So Kieran just gonna keep bringing that up as additional barracks also coming through for the moment. Just going to keep that all coming by. Shadow Strike building, +2 armor coming in. Had a couple disruptors on the gateways, the Nexus, +1 ship, and the Vikings. All very much so building on through for the moment. And you'll just see this army coming back over that right-hand side. So again, trying to set up, trying to get going. We do just keep moving through the bio. The Vikings hanging out overhead. The Stargate and so continue to come about as well. Bio stepping straight through to the center. The T2 upgrades coming about. T1 on the other side. Storm on the way. Shadow Strike coming up, +3/+2. Bioforce going to be there, hitting a few of those Stalkers down. Nice anti-armor missile. Going to see one Colossus going down, the other getting chased a little bit as well. Just going to get there. The Nexus is going to be taking some more shots. That's going to be falling, and Cure with some firepower breaking on into this side of the map. Two probes in the corner just going to get picked away at the Storm. +3 continue to come about. Got that nuke coming up on the Ghost scan. May still some more upgrades coming in from Kira as well. So his army still improving. Disruptor shot trying to come down. Just gonna see the Stalker's gonna step forward as well. I'm just gonna be having the Bioforce coming back through. So we go back and forth a little bit. The Viking's gonna be there to chase the Colossus again. So again, gonna come straight through with this one. Cannons and batteries continue to gather up. The CCs and the starport building as well. Continue to get that on the way. As that Ghost is going to come stepping by. Just going to side a couple of Stalkers taking damage also. The Viking starport armory. Again, a bit of everything starting to come through here. A nuke is going to land. Cannon and 2 batteries. Only a few probes go down. We pull most of them away to the sides, but Q are definitely wanting to try and apply a little bit more pressure with all of this as well. So to the best of their ability, doing what is available there. Step up, Ghost Academy. Well, Ghost just continues to set through. The Bio going to set up. Another Disruptor shot trying to come forward as well. And we continue to get up and rolling as the army continues to gather. The Liberators are going to come through. The couple of probes very much so on the way right now. It will land. Gonna see the DTs continue to come about. Now going to be having the DTs getting into the mineral lines as well. So you have to go and deal with these. They are about maxed out here on both sides. This Creator makes a pretty good shove down the bottom, but Fury is immediately in position, so it just doesn't go anywhere at all. So no benefit there. He's just gonna fire. Damage being done. A few more shots coming about as you see the Vikings, Lib, the Bio all gathering together. Army of Creator continues to move on through. Colossus gets another shot off. The Liberators and the CCs continue to come about right now. Fire up once again. Creator obviously taking position on the map, and immediately Q's just like, cool, you want a base trade? Then Creator's like, oh, well, I don't know if I want a base trade. But you're kind of getting forced into it very quickly. He's going to recall very early, actually. I don't know if I love that. The Viking Liberator fleet goes back home, so very defendable position, I would imagine, for Q, who just takes the fight with the spread of Marauders. We'll target down some of the tech units here, getting rid of a bunch of the disruptors before lifting and leaving. Actually works fairly well for Creator, who didn't really push the issue on the other side much more, but that does mean that Q didn't lose any bases or anything, which you could argue is perhaps problematic as well. Another round of Liberators will set straight up. He is just going to get that underway. Stalker step through one more time. It's just going to come straight over. Some probes going down. Get rid of that planetary fortress, and this army still in the bottom side. Oh, what a storm that is! We got a follow-up? No. Would have been great to hit the Vikings a little bit more there. Another stormer, so the Bio continue to come through. Another disruptor shot sets up. Missile turret's getting chased. Just going to be having the planetary under fire once again. Base goes down. Disruptor's going to be there. SCVs get chased the other way. There's 23 workers going down. Creator really applying the pressure on that bottom right-hand side. Is that going to be good enough? I find it kind of bonkers here in general that we are seeing such great games between them. I don't know if it's bonkers, but I guess kind of expected in a way. Let's see the stepping forward here, and we will have the Stalkers trying to step up. A couple of disruptor shots going to fire through. SCV's taking damage. Going to go back the other direction as Cure looks good right now, but then the reinforcements show up, and you got to wonder if it's enough. He's so Viking heavy as well. I do wonder if he's got too little on the ground. Only 36 SCVs left in the game, and a few more lost already here. As here come the Vikings, so they'll get rid of the Colossus. Then it's just going to be the Stalkers to really deal with the Disruptor. Got rid of a bunch of the Ghosts, however. Creator's going to be losing pretty much everything. It seems those Liberators are putting some serious work in now. The Vikings land and shred through Stalkers and Immortals alike. And DT walked into the scan a moment too late as well. The Liberators get stormed though, so Kira's going to have a bad moment, but he's got so much as long as these Vikings can still provide enough value, which so far seems to be the case. They so far seem to be standing up for themselves. They're going to lift back up, get rid of a new Colossus. And they could land back down to help buffer for the Terran force as well. It's really only Stalkers left from Creator. Sub 100 supply. Another close game. Unfortunately, Creator's not going to be able to do enough once again. Fire goes down to the bottom. Nexus Disruptors coming through. Jumping onto that 6 o'clock here. A bunch of mules already mining away in the bottom right-hand corner as we do work our way through this Nexus. A couple probes getting jumped on as well, so easy pickings right there. As Creator's army is just not it anymore. I felt like he had some good storms and so to set him up in some of the fights, but just none of them really coming through in the end. Fire steps up. Disruptor's going to get melted, so that's just going to be game. As all the probes try and pull in, obviously way too much bio. These Stalkers will never do it, even with some impressive blinks. You can't blink impressively enough for this one. GG's, and Q takes a 2-0 lead in this qualifying best of 5, a map away from securing him a spot in this little tournament. So yeah, Kua once again looking good, but never making it too easy on himself. I feel like Kua very rarely wins TVPs at like, oh, I made a good push, or I had a good fight, and we're just gonna win it. I feel like Kua, especially against players like Creator, sometimes it really does end up going into that later stage of the game so freaking often. As we ready ourselves for this one coming up in a sec, it's gonna be Ultra Love. We got that ready to go. A go. Beautiful. Is Creator bad at taking fights? Maybe. Kua is very good at taking fights. The other way around too. I mean, he's getting into these stages of the game, which I feel like are nice for him, but Kua also thrives in this stage of the game as well, so I'm not immediately convinced that it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows in that regard, I guess. Counting down. Get a going. Bottom left-hand side, our blue Terran player with a 2-0 lead, a map away from qualifying. It is Kua. As in the top right, our red Protoss is Creator. Chrono boosting. Get the probes chrono boosting along as well. You got the assimilators coming up. Get that underway. Let me see where we go here over the next few moments of Ultra Love. Can Creator switch it up and get himself a map win? Or is Kua just going to continue to look a little bit too good? And CC coming about, orbital command coming through, so we get this set up already, we get this underway. Probe, take him down as it tries to scout him through. Kua just blocking from getting any further forward. Excuse me, sorry, as the Adept moves on up a little bit, I'm just going to be seeing the council coming through. And get ourselves settled here for a few moments. Just going to be seeing our starport coming up as well. Oh, so I think it's going to go cruising across. And the medevac is going to load up. We're going to head across to the upper right-hand side. The blink coming through, the gates and the robo facility coming up as well. We've seen the medevac going to fly straight in. No respect, just a line straight in as the Hellions try and get through. The Adept goes down, which gives the Hellions access to chase after those probes for a few moments. First shot isn't that great though, and the battery is done. And so this is going to be it. The only problem with the straight up dive there is that the medevac obviously ended up exposed for a long time, took a lot of damage very quickly, went down very easily. So that does fall pretty heavily there as the Hellion coming around the back. A couple more probes still getting shot away at. And again, Siege Tank, Marines, and a Raven continue to come up and online. Continue to get that underway for the moment. Stalkers just going to blink around Engineering Bay. SCV's tank continue to come over. Stalkers going to get there. The Widowmine gets taken out. Siege Tank and the Marines continue to come through. Stalkers just gather. Siege Tank coming through. Stalkers going to hit. Tech cancel on the tech lab right there. Again, the stamina +1 continuing through for the moment. Second one locking, and that prism does get chased away a little bit. Stalkers continue to come about. And the SCV surrounding that bunker, holding that off for a few moments. Those couple order turrets dropping straight back into play, so the battery taking some shots, the probe's taking some damage. The Stalkers start to peel back the other direction for a few moments here as our prism is going to give access to Creator's base, but not to Creator's base. The prism is so low, let's be careful with that. As time ticks, Q gets into a better spot. CC coming up, Stim on the way. Creator finally going to take that third base, but man, is it late in comparison to the usual timing expectations. That's really not ideal. Storm on the way up, charges on the way through. And the storm going online, we get that charge coming online. Extra gates coming through as well, so we continue to bring this up. Just gathers again. Storm about to finish. Charge is very much so on the way. There we go. Storm drops into the mineral line. Okay, the next drop did a little bit more. 7 SCVs end up going down. Not bad at all. I'm just going to go moving up again. The Archon and the charge continuing about. The army heading through the center. Stalker's actually going to meet a couple of medevacs already, and Cure never makes it easy, like I say. I did not need to lose the medevacs as easily as that. Storm did well, but don't keep that next tank up in a weird position, because that could have blocked all the Marines out. Skill want to keep on going, still has a significant army supply lead. Tank to be firing. Gate taking damage, the Archon taking some shots, the Prism very much so still just up there. The Ghosts and the Marines still gathering around as the army of Kua pressing on through. Nice shots firing, Immortal taking hits, the Zealots and the Archon trying to step forward as well. Here we go, the big surround from Creator, as we're going to try and dive for the Prism, I believe was the intention there. Prism will get another couple High Templars down, the next Storm coming through. Kua pulling back behind his Siege Tank, still has some units in the natural, and actually just leave the tanks to die, but will be in the main to try and dive for a few more probes perhaps. But Stalkers here going to clean this up as well, and that's going to bring the supplies right back down to being even again. Creator does it again, just a great mid-game fight where it puts them into a very good position. EMP goes down, High Templar, Immortal, taking some extra shots already. Now that's how the Stalk's going to come back through, a bit of bio, continue to take some hits. Once again, Creator just comes straight across looking to capitalize on the moment and isn't wasting time. He's got the third base lifted now. There's a lot of ghosts here. EMP's available. High Templars warping in. Obviously, they can become another Archon as the bio starts to push through. The SCVs here as well. We're actually going to chase in with the SCVs to tank Kua. That feels so unnecessary, but sends them back to mining now. It just doesn't feel like you ever need to give up SCVs here for basically no reason, right? Army gathering, Viking the Raven right there as well. Down missile striking, the Prism takes shots. Only moving back to the top once again for a few moments. +2 attack coming through, the extra gates and the Colossus coming about, add a cannon on into that, the pylon also coming into play. And we'll just see our upgrades continuing to come across. Stalkers warp in, some thermal lands, +2 attack upgrade, very much so on the way as well. This army of Creator sitting tight as Kura is moving forwards, trying to get something done. Creator with the Stalkers. See how this next fight goes. Couple of Vikings actually going to get the Prism. Okay, one of the High Templars did not get out of that Prism. EMPs have been really good so far as well, so the Archon's in trouble. The Colossus being chased. A couple Widow Mines do get burrowed up. Kira apparently doesn't want to chase the issue. I mean, I feel like that was the perfect moment for him to step further forward. Like, he did a lot of preemptive damage there. I think he's a bit afraid of the Colossus maybe wants a few more Vikings and so, but he is also maxed out, so you'll have to do some amount of trading. Going to go for a different angle. To be fair, if he goes to the upper left, he can put himself between the third and the fourth and can force Creator to fight into him a little bit more. That'd be part of the idea as the Vikings get caught trailing ahead, and that's going to be a nice catch. I'm just going to pull back once again, so we just pull back over. I'm just going to be having a couple of Archons. The Stalker still pushing through. Well, Archon's going down. The Immortal's going to get jumped on. Disruptor falls as well. The Colossus might run as best they can. Kua gets rid of one of the Colossus. That's huge. A couple of Vikings will start putting pressure onto the Prism. Get rid of that Colossus micro that we've been seeing. As the Prism goes down, we're going to chase through. The High Templar does not have a Storm, apparently. If it did, it didn't drop it. As we do chase, that Colossus is going to die. And one more Storm, gets a few more units. Apparently, we're just going to keep chasing. We get rid of the High Templar, so don't let it regenerate energy is the game plan there. We get rid of that one. And Kua, massive reset on Creator's setup. Massive reset on his setup. Well, it's now mostly Zard Stalker, which to be fair is showing up in a little bit of good numbers. Kua still has the army supply lead. Creator trying to rebuild some of the tech. Fire Force coming around, Viking the Medivacs coming through. Fire Force continues to come about again. The upgrade's very much so on the way. Fire has to kite here as the Disruptor shot, but okay, well, we get a Ghost, and it's more than Disruptor shot was meant to do in my eyes, so it was going to hit nothing at all. Sorry, excuse me. As the army continues to come back from the other side. Jumping onto this Nexus, damage being done by a continued kite back, couple ults coming forward, EMPs all across those Stalkers. Vikings will begin to fire onto the Colossus as Creator attacking on in. This is kind of what you want as Cure, but does he have what he needs to actually take this fight? There's no Prism here, right? So there's no saving the Colossus if they get jumped on. As Q is again pushed right back into the corner. He's got units across the map, initiating something of a base trade, I suppose. EMPs come down as well, hitting the sentry, so no force fields or Guardian Shield. Currently 27 pros died across the map. The natural expansion fall, and the robo facilities are right there too, so you can stop future robo production. Probably why Kira is being so nonchalant about defending this position. Stalkers do not get the kill on that medevac, so everything gets out from that corner. And Kira will be able to regather all in one place, as we are recalling some units home, but did they recall to the main? But Kira is diving the third, and there's no units over here to protect the third base. Battery going to try and do some healing, but that's extremely hopeful. The probes pulling in are going to die as well, so that's two bases that Kira has been able to kill so far. Now, Creator has taken an army supply lead as he cleans this up. So basically, Creator has to go across the map. He's a main base and a top left base, super far apart from each other left in the game. I mean, he's just got to send it. Can Kira defend if Creator fully sends an attack right now? That's going to be our question. And we are looking for our answer. I will shoot. A couple Stalkers taking damage. So we've seen our Valiants continue to fight. The Zealot's taking a lot more damage. Colossus still getting whacked away at. Again, in a much-win fight for Creator, he's just not winning it as the tech units are going to go down. The Stalker's going to be all that's left. There's no rebuild potential anymore as well. GG's. And Kira is going to take this series 3-0. A scoreline that I don't think really represents the series very well at all. So it's going to be a 3-0. GG's. And that will be that. Oh, fun day. Fun little qualifier here on Rex's tournament. Got me looking forward to the... Yeah, got me looking forward to the... arrival of the next days of this term, which will be obviously the main event. So 2 Terrans qualify, makes it 3 Protoss, 3 Terran, and 2 Zerg into the groups, and they will be played next week. Awesome. That's fun. Fun qualifier today, guys. Very, very cool. Thank you to Rex for putting it on. Guys, I'm probably not going to be here tomorrow. I don't really have anything to stream, so unless some inspiration strikes me out of nowhere, don't expect me to be here tomorrow. And that means that I will not be here. I'm definitely not here over the weekend. I'm going away for the weekend, so I will be back on... I'll be back on Monday for WardiTV Mondays again. I know it's not a lot of StarCraft this week. There's only so much I can really put together and do, so... Yeah, appreciate you all dropping by. Appreciate you all coming in. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys on Monday, unless something pops up tomorrow. So yeah, I'll see you guys on Monday if nothing else. And like I said, when we come back, we have 13 out of 14 days in a row full of StarCraft already. So when we come back, it'll be non-stop streaming again. Just weird week, like I say, because I'm away at the weekend. It's hard to fill the week up ahead of it. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys on Monday. Set Vats on the outro, and I'll send you guys over to some more StarCraft. Bye.